Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the release of the sci-fi adventure action extravaganza Chaos Walking, hitting store shelves along with the 15th and final season of Supernatural. Also a little 4K upgrade love this week with the 2011 sci-fi adventure Super 8, and Shout Select is releasing a collector's edition Blu-ray release of the 1985 sci-fi adventure classic, and I'm so glad this movie is getting so much love. I used to watch this movie ad nauseum when I was a kid. Loved it. Explorers. Plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart. Do I really have to say it? Oh boy, yeah. They do not have any of the new releases out this week whatsoever. I mean, empties upon empty upon empty upon holy shit. It's like a fucking black hole. Jesus Christ, man. Wow. I mean, they do have this stuff from last week. They have Tom and Jerry. They have Raya. They have that Liam Neeson movie that no one seems to be buying. That one. Justice Society. At least they do have Above Suspicion, and they didn't have that last week. So that is a plus, I suppose, right? Yeah, it is. It is a plus. I mean, and by the way, really solid movie with Emilia Clarke, and surprisingly Johnny Knoxville's really good in it, guys. Based on a true story, good little thriller drama, not half bad actually. If you like Emilia Clarke, and she hasn't done a lot of great roles since Game of Thrones, but this one's honestly really good. Definitely give that one a chance, man. Not half bad on that one. And as far as Raya and the Last Dragon goes, now the 4K has the slipcover, and here at the stores, the Blu-ray does not. However, I found out something really fascinating. One of my great subscribers, Eddie, sent me a video. He had bought the Blu-ray from Movie Disney Club, and it comes with an exclusive slipcover for the Blu-ray, and it looks absolutely phenomenal, man. That thing looks amazing, the slipcover. And I kind of have a feeling that's what Disney's going to do now, is they're going to do sort of exclusives on the Disney Movie Club, like certain releases obviously, but also certain slipcovers. So there's certain editions, like they also have a slipcover for the Blu-ray of Soul as well, and a couple other releases. So I think they're going to do certain exclusives just for the Disney Movie Club that are sort of perks for its members. And that slipcover is really cool, man. I'm almost kind of thinking of joining Disney Movie Club just to get that. I don't know, should I? It's really tempting, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like this, but that slipcover is really freaking cool, man. I'm thinking about it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Definitely let me know. But that slipcover, if you guys check it out, that is a really awesome one. I mean, as far as Disney Movie Club exclusive slipcovers, that's pretty sweet, and that might get me to actually join the Disney Movie Club. That just might. I don't know, man. That would definitely let me know on that one, guys. But I mean, like I said, the little thing, which is really good. They also have the regular edition of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, which I didn't hear from you guys last week about whether this is good or bad or not. Is it? Definitely let me know. Like I said, I'm into old school Trek. Not much of the new school stuff, a little bit, but I wonder where this sort of fits in. Interesting animated stuff. Definitely let me know, guys. But outside of that, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, Chaos Walking, the tags are here, but no movies whatsoever. Long Weekend, American Fighter, Deliver Us from Evil, Happily. I mean, it's all supposed to be here, but no releases whatsoever. Then again, this is the first Walmart, and you know how they roll. We'll get them next week, obviously. All right, let's head out. My bad, guys. I thought today was the day that they released the Blu-rays and DVDs and 4Ks this week. Oh, duh. I should have realized that when it comes to Walmart, it's tomorrow. Ugh. Duh. McFly. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh, good God, man. That is bad, dude. That is pitiful, all right? I mean, I was hoping for at least something this week, right? Because it's a pretty decent release week, all things considered. It honestly really is. But you really wouldn't know it by coming to this Walmart. You really wouldn't know it, guys. That's for damn sure. I mean, it's actually a decent release week, but when it comes to Walmart, it really is a gamble. You're rolling that dice, and either you hit it big or you flat out are a fucking loser. And this time around, damn, damn, did I lose big. Ooh, hey, like I said, we'll get them next week. A week late, but hey, we'll get them. This is Walmart. We'll get them eventually. Just gotta wait. Be patient. You'll get what's coming to you. Maybe. Well, guess we'll see next week. Until then, yeesh. Guess we gotta go to another place to hopefully find some media worth checking out. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something. So I actually heard this a little while back from my friend John about how Target is not selling the sports cards and the Pokemon cards anymore. They're kind of suspending it for the time being. And I thought it was Walmart too, but I believe that's not exactly true. And if it is, it's only like certain stores that are doing it. But I thought that was wild because he was telling me about how the supply is not as big because of the pandemic and the demand is very huge. And so when they get them in at these stores, that people are like ravaging the displays. They're trying to get into the back room to see if there's any other supply that's there. They're like accosting employees and other fellow fans and people who are buying this stuff, fellow collectors, you name it, man. I mean, people are getting kind of violent over this stuff and doing very illegal stuff to get them. And I thought, my God, man, really? For this? Yeah, apparently so. And you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Seth, how does this have to connect to physical media, like Blu-rays, DVDs, and 4Ks? But I actually thought about something. I really did. What if physical media gets this bad? Truly. Because think about it, man. I mean, physical media is getting more niche every single year. It really honestly is true. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's the honest truth, man. And so what happens if there's not enough supply anymore and the demand is huge? And so when you're looking for these releases, you're literally going to have to fight tooth and nail to try to get them. I mean, right now, there's not many disc manufacturing facilities out there, and a lot of these companies are, having to delay certain titles so they can get them from the factories, and, all these studios are putting out more and more releases, and so it's a feeding frenzy a lot of times. And you're also noticing sometimes less and less releases at these stores. I mean, hell, look at Steelbooks, man. I mean, sometimes if you don't pre-order a certain Steelbook, man, it sells out like a motherfucker. It sells out fast, man. And you either gotta grab it or you're finding yourself having to fight tooth and nail over somebody else who's bidding a little bit more on eBay. That's nuts. So what if that were to happen in the stores? That would be crazy. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, I love my physical media, but I'm not willing to, knife somebody, okay? This is not a PS4. This is not a PS5 situation. I am not willing to get gunned down for this shit. You can guarantee that, man. I don't know. That's ridiculous, man. I mean, even nowadays, some of these niche titles, man, I mean, it's just crazy what people are willing to go for. I mean, I saw on Facebook Marketplace somebody selling the Stigmata Scream Factory Blu-ray for $70. Invaders from Mars Scream Factory release for $95. What the fuck? Really? do these people even want the releases, or do they just like hoard them until they become out of print and then fucking sell them on Facebook Marketplace or eBay to make an extra like $50, $100 or something? What the fuck? Like, it's getting so crazy and so ridiculous, and I just think it's gonna get worse. I really do, man. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I really do think it's going to get just much more vicious, and you're going to be paying out the nose for these certain releases. That's why I tell you guys, and it really is true, man. If you want a certain release and a certain title, I know you may be paying a little extra money for it, but pay it now, because for certain titles, I guarantee you that you are going to pay out the nose sooner rather than later for some of this stuff, because it's going to go fast, man. I mean, some of those steelbooks, they fly off the shelves and people are paying big money for them. There are certain big name releases that don't get a lot of stock in at these stores or even online, and once they're gone, well, you gotta wait ages for it, and maybe you might not even get it back in stock again. Maybe it's just going to go completely out of stock. Yes, the big name titles are always going to be there, clearly, but sometimes maybe not. I mean, think about that, man. I mean, I remember the stores years ago, right? You seeing the latest Pirates of the Caribbean film and seeing a swath of titles for it. My God, so many DVDs and Blu-rays and you name it. And I'm like thinking, man, this is going to sit here for a long time. And it did. And now I see some of the same releases, and I'm thinking this is going to stay here for a long time, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it flies off the shelves. And before you know it, it is gone like that, man. I think as physical media in any way, shape, or form, when it gets more niche, and when it gets less supply, the demand rises. And when that happens, prices go up, the feeding frenzy starts, and then you're literally fighting with somebody else just to get a fucking Blu-ray of whatever title. It's going to be crazy. And it's going to be nuts. And I hate to say it, this is just the beginning of it. Oh, it's going to get worse. I guarantee it. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, but something tells me I ain't wrong, guys. And it's going to get really rough in the past few years. Or at least in the next few years, I should say. It's going to get rough. Look, I love my physical media, and I'm going to buy the releases that I like, but, you know, I'm not willing to fight nobody, man. I'm a lover. I ain't a fighter. I ain't willing to do that. But if you're willing to fight for it, bring a knife. You may just need it. Definitely let me know what you guys think about that. In the meantime, it is a actually pretty decent release week. Then again, you wouldn't know that from going into the first Walmart, but let's hope Target's different. Well, the only way to find out is to head inside, so let's go in and check it out. All right, everybody, we are in at Target, and actually a few titles worth checking out. Not too bad. And actually, it looks like they sold out of a lot of Raya and the Last Dragon. The Blu-ray is sold out. The 4K is sold out. They actually only have one more of the Target exclusive, which you know this thing is going to go fast. However, something that the Target electronics manager just told me, swear to God, guys, truth. The reason why these are as sold out as they are is because of Redbox. Kid you not, guys. Honest to God truth. These are sold out because of Redbox. So I kind of told you guys a long time back that the Target electronics manager told me this, that Redbox comes in to a Target and they buy up like a shitload of certain titles so that they can stock them in their Redbox machines that they don't get a lot in, so they end up buying them from these retailers in these stores and then stocking it and making the money off of the Redbox sales. Yes, and it happens at this Target. So all of the Blu-rays and the 4Ks and everything, they were bought up by Redbox. And they come in and they buy like 30 of this stuff, and they just go to the various Redboxes and they stock them. I swear to God, guys. And he told me, like, he stopped one person this past week that was buying like 15 copies of Raya and the Last Dragon, and he just like no, you can only buy 5. Stop it. That's insane. Swear to God, guys, the red box epidemic is real. Okay? Kid you not. It is so real. And that is crazy to think that Redbox comes in here and fucking like takes all this stuff and just pulls it. That's nuts. But it is the truth, man. Damn. Redbox strikes again. Holy shit, man. Damn. And it's gonna take Target a few weeks to get more Rhea in. So, it kind of screws the customers over, because yes, Target does get the sales, but at the same time, that means that somebody can't come in here and get a regular copy of Rhea because Redbox just screwed everything over. That sucks. I didn't even know this was a thing until a little bit ago, but yeah, the Redbox epidemic is definitely real. Wow. But other than the Redbox epidemic going on this week, they also have Chaos Walking. Very nice. The 4K Blu-ray digital for $24.99, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.99, and the DVD for $16.99. All the same artwork, nothing really different, unfortunately, but I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I was a little on the fence about this movie, to be fair. I had heard a lot of mixed things about this film. Some people kind of enjoyed the movie, and other people thought it was an absolute train wreck. So I still wanted to check it out. I mean, Daisy Ridley, Tom Holland, they're popular actors. I wanted to give it a look, so I figured, why the hell not, man? Basically, what this is about is this community of only men, and you can sort of see their thoughts, like there's almost like a thought bubble outside of their head, almost like imagery, where whatever they're thinking sort of shows up, and you don't really know what happened to the women. You don't really know what happened with them, that they're sort of at war with this other alien species, and this sort of spaceship comes crashing down, and one of the survivors is Daisy Ridley, and they start to get really suspicious, like, who is this chick? And they want to question her, and it's like no one has seen a woman in like a really, really long time, so it's like a really big deal. And it's a story about trust and what exactly happened to these women, and survival, and basically a lot of sci-fi action fantasy goodness. Well, maybe. Here's the deal about it, guys. I'm gonna be honest about this movie. I was looking forward to this movie just because of the actors alone. I mean, Matt Mikkelsen plays one of the villains in this movie. I love Matt Mikkelsen. I mean, come on, Hannibal? He's awesome, man. So I figured, why the hell not? Yeah, I wasn't really looking forward to Nick Jonas. I'm not a Jonas Brothers fan, but whatever, he's in the movie. But I figured, why the hell not? And truth be told about this movie, honestly, guys, is that the movie is just okay. The movie is just average at best. And I'm being real with you. It's not really all that exciting. It tries to be intense. It tries to be very fascinating. And it comes off as kind of a so-so effort, kind of a bore at times. Yeah, it is really true, man. I mean, first off, the chemistry between Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland is not there. I'm sorry, I just don't know whether they didn't connect as actors, but I just didn't really buy them as even maybe a possible love interest. Like, nothing there whatsoever. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen is kind of cool, but it's hard for him to really save this movie. The action sequences are really not all that great and effective. A lot of shaky cam and, you know, big bombastic music that tries to pretend like the action is really sprawling and epic and amazing, but it not really. Even the whole story to it, it's got potential. The idea of a thought bubble, the idea that you can see these men's thoughts, and the idea that these men have, you know, nefarious ideas and thoughts in their head, and that she can see them, and even though they say they mean no harm, they absolutely do. And so there's a lot of like trust and double crossing and who can you really believe? Like, there's a lot of interesting ideas there to chew on. The movie just doesn't really dive into any of that. It really turns into a very limp dick effort that just comes off as kind of stale and boring and not all that exciting. And it really is true. I mean, there's some cool sort of sci-fi elements here. The spaceship stuff is kind of cool. The weaponry that Daisy Ridley has is kind of interesting. But, I mean, there's this whole sort of alien race species that they're kind of fighting, but you don't really even get to see much of them. Like, it's kind of cool little, like, alien design that you see for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you don't really even get to see that much more of them. It's a potential that completely gets lost. The movie just feels like a really bad lost cause, which really sucks, man. I mean, from what I hear, this movie went through a shitload of reshoots. They paid for the reshoots like an extra like 15 or 20 million dollars on top of the stuff that they already spent on the actors and the production, and that was like a year later. The test screenings were absolutely disastrous, and I can see why. I know that this is based off of a book series, and I assume that they made this movie to try to possibly do more movies in the future, like make this an entire franchise. That's probably why you get people like Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland, because, hey, this is a new franchise for them, and make more money, and everybody makes out, right? But the first effort has to be good, and it has to excite people, and it has to actually, want to have you come back for more. And Cass Walking really doesn't do that, man. I gotta admit, throughout watching this movie, I was just painfully bored. I mean, truth be told, I was really, really painfully bored, and I was just waiting for more excitement to happen, and it just never really did. I like Tom Holland. I like Daisy Ridley. They're good actors, but they just really couldn't save a really stale and limp dick sci-fi effort. Yeah, this is a really, really rough movie to get through. A great idea, but executed totally wrong. If you're into sci-fi and you're curious about this movie, maybe, but I gotta tell you, there's a lot better sci-fi movies out there, and this one sort of limps across the finish line. And look what we got here, a little exclusive love this week, perhaps, with the Blu-ray digital of the Schwarzenegger double feature collection with Terminator Judgment Day and Total Recall for $29.99. Look at this. What is this? This is the Lenticular Packaging 2-film collection steelbook. Ooh, look at this. Look at that, man. Look at that. Oh, cool. Terminator, Total Recall. Terminator, Total Recall. Look at that. That is cool. Oh, that's great. Not only is this lenticular, but it's also steelbook as well. Ooh, that is pretty damn sweet. Not gonna lie, man. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Very fascinating and very interesting exclusive for Target, especially all you Schwarzenegger lovers out there. Man, I actually already have the 4K release of Total Recall, so I don't really need Total Recall. But I've been waiting, and I swear to God, I've been waiting for a really long time for them to put out some sort of great collector's edition release of Terminator Judgment Day. I just want them one big huge set that has the theatrical edition and the extended edition with the commentaries and the featurettes and interviews and all that jazz. I've kind of been waiting for them to do it. God knows they do so many editions of like Terminator, the first one, and they keep on doing editions of all those other shitty Terminator movies. I guess why not they do one for Terminator 2 Judgment Day? But I keep on waiting for it, and it never seems to happen. Like, they put out that 4K, and everybody said the 4K was just okay, not great. And I've been also thinking, I see that Terminator 2 steelbook at times. You know, the one with like the flames and sort of the endoskeleton Terminator skull, and I've been kind of wanting that, but I don't know, the price sort of fluctuates, and sometimes it's really high price, and sometimes I could get it for a lower price, and I don't know, man. I keep on wondering which edition of Terminator 2 should I actually get, man. I used to have the DVD and I got rid of that a while ago because I wanted to upgrade, and then I'm realizing I don't know which edition I really should actually get. This edition does look pretty sweet, and I'm not gonna lie, I really love the lenticular. That looks, honestly, as a collector, that looks pretty cool. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't really need it, and that kind of sucks. But if you're a Schwarzenegger fan and you don't have Terminator 2 or Total Recall in the collection, this would be pretty damn sweet. And for 30 bucks for two films, that's not half bad. Just saying. I mean, Total Recall is a fantastic Schwarzenegger film, and so is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Both of them are absolutely awesome movies, great sci-fi flicks, great directors attached to them, and great Arnold one-liners. And come on, when you watch an Arnold film, you watch it for the action, but come on, you also watch it for the cheesy one-liners. And with those two films, you get a lot of them, baby. A lot. So great, man. I mean, you get Robert Patrick as a really great bad guy. You also get all that Total Recall love, like, hello, the three boobs. Just saying. So good, man. So good. This is really sweet. I don't need it. But for any Schwarzenegger collector out there, this pretty damn sweet. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Supernatural, the complete 15th and final season for $39.99. The DVD for $34.99. And my God, 15 seasons of Supernatural. Man, that is wild. Holy cow, man. Now, believe it or not, I have never actually seen a single episode of Supernatural. Truth be told, through 15 seasons, I have never watched a single episode of this. I believe it's on Netflix or Hulu, somewhere like that. So I could now potentially start to watch it now that the series is actually over. Man, 15 seasons of the Winchester brothers. Man, can you believe that? Man, that's crazy. You know, Bob actually used to watch this show religiously. Okay, he actually really did. He used to really love Supernatural. And after a while, I think he kind of got off the train, and I think he did because he kind of felt like it was getting a little long in the tooth, and there were seasons that felt like it absolutely went nowhere, and a lot of duds, and he kind of got off the train. But I actually heard that the ending of Supernatural is really good. Like, they actually kind of stick the landing, which is crazy after 15 seasons, man. I mean, I gotta give Supernatural credit because there's not many TV shows out there, honestly, that really go that long. I mean, yeah, you have your CSIs that go really long, or Criminal Minds, or Law and Orders, the Grey's Anatomies of the world. Yeah, they go a really long time. But not many sci-fi fantasy shows really go that long. I mean, Stargate SG-1 had 10 seasons, and that was, I think, when it ended, sort of the longest running of the sci-fi fantasy shows at the time. Obviously, Supernatural definitely beat that, but it's hard to keep a show going for that long, isn't it? I mean, with the different storylines and trying to keep fans' interest and keep the show fresh and new and invigorated season after season. I mean, it's not easy to actually pull off, all things considered. And even though I've never watched a single episode of this show, and I probably do have to at some point kind of do that, because, I mean, let's be real, it probably is pretty darn good, man. It's kind of like, probably kind of reminds me a lot of probably like Buffy or Angel or something, maybe. I don't know, it kind of has that feel to me. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I mean, what I do know is that Supernatural has its hardcore fan base, and I mean hardcore fan base. I mean, the fans who love this really love it and go out of their way to love it. If it sticks the landing, if it actually pulled off a really successful ending to this show that was emotional and felt satisfying, then kudos to Supernatural, man, because not many shows are able to do that, and not many shows are able to go this long and are able to effectively stick the landing and actually be still very interesting enough where fans actually want to still be involved and engaged with the show. Not many do, man. So I gotta give Supernatural a lot of credit, man. I mean, the actors, they stuck with it for the 15 seasons. I mean, the creators, I mean, I gotta give people credit, man. They really believed in this show and they stuck by it. Probably when certain seasons felt like they were going off the rails or that they were lost creatively, everybody still stuck around. And I gotta appreciate that, man. I mean, you may not like the show, you may love it, but you gotta appreciate the fact that they survived 15 seasons. And for a sci fi fantasy show, that's not exactly an easy thing to pull off. So, a lot of love to Supernatural. Maybe I should get into it? Definitely let me know, guys. Very interesting indeed for all you hardcore Supernatural lovers out there. And I know you definitely are out there. Nice. Not bad. And the artwork is actually really great, too. Very, very nice, man. Not half bad. And not half bad this week. Some interesting exclusive love. Chaos Walking. The Redbox Epidemic. Damn. Let's see if they got anything else. And then over in this little side section here, it seems like there isn't a lot really to check out. I mean, they have that season 1 through 9, The Office, a complete series, Modern Family, 5-movie collection, Jurassic World, a ton of that 8-film collection, Harry Potter love. Of course, they have the first 3 seasons of Yellowstone. Not half bad for all you Yellowstone lovers out there. They do have that Mission Impossible 6-movie collection, which, by the way, in all honesty, why would you really get the Mission Impossible collection set when you know they're making more movies? It just kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It kind of does to me. I mean, they have The Godfather, Corleone Legacy Love. That they have Fast and Furious as well, which we've seen before. Very nice steelbook. Then they have some other stuff, guys, which I'm actually really shocked that they have it. Holy shit, they actually have the 4K steelbook of Animal House. Holy cow, man. I was not expecting to find this at Target, of all places, man. I mean, it just came out at Best Buy a week ago, and it's already here at Target. Holy shit, guys. Now, I showed this off at the end of the video last week that I had pre-ordered my copy from Best Buy, and they had all sold out, and I was really happy that I did, because I didn't think I'd actually ever see it in the stores. Truth be told, I didn't think I'd actually see it at Target. Oh my god, man. This is sweet. Come on, you gotta love that steelbook, man, of all of the guys from the fraternity hanging out right in front of the dilapidated house. Like, that is cool, man. What a really, really great comedy. One of the best college comedies of all time. So awesome. And the steelbook is amazing, man. Look at that. 4K for $19.99. The steelbook love here. That is insane. I was not expecting this at Target, man. And speaking of something else I wasn't expecting at Target, The Sting. They have the 4K steelbook here, man, for $19.99 as well. This is amazing. This is a really, really nice steel, as I showed off last week, man. Really gorgeous. But again, how the hell is it at Target a week after it's at Best Buy? That's nuts, man. If you thought you'd only have it as a Best Buy exclusive, you'd be wrong, man. Wow, that is amazing. They have that. They also have Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds as well for $19.99. Great steelbook. Look at this. With the birds attacking her. Oh, they're just so great, man. Oh my god, look at that. Oh. Tippy Hedren, you poor woman. So great of a movie. Alfred Hitchcock is amazing, one of the best masters of suspense of all time. And this steelbook is, ooh, sweet. So nice, man. They have that. They also have that well, I don't think it's like it is that 4 film collection there with Far From Home, the Spider-Man, Homecoming, Into the Spider-Verse, and Venom. They have this really great one as well for $27.99. Really great deal as well. That's a nice slip. Of course, you also have the Steel of Shrek, which you'd seen before. They also have a really nice one for Jack Reacher as well. Not bad, man. I gotta admit, man, I really do love the first Jack Reacher movie. Second one kind of falls falls hard on his face. But the first Jack Reacher is actually really good, and Tom Cruise is awesome in it, man. I wish they would have done more Jack Reacher movies. I mean, the second one sucked, but I think they could have bounced back. I think they're doing like a TV show or something of Jack Reacher, I thought, or maybe another movie, something like that. They're supposed to, but Jack Reacher is awesome, man, and Tom Cruise does a great job. That first movie is killer, it really is, man, but really nice steelbook as well. That's really cool. They also have this Rocket Man steelbook, also the Blu-ray for $12.99, and this is a nice one too, man. Look at that, Rocket Man. I love this movie. Taron Egerton is awesome in it. I love the great autobiography of Elton John, and I love how they sort of go through his life almost like it's like musical sequences. Just fantastic movie, man. Really love this. I don't know whether this is an old school Target exclusive or not. I don't know if this was. I don't remember this, but maybe it was, and I've just kind of, had that old man memory that I just don't remember, man. But this is really cool. I like that one. For $12.99 for that Blu-ray, that's not bad. They also end up having a Blu-ray DVD steelbook of The Wolf of Wall Street for $17.99. God damn, what a great fucking movie this is, man. Leonardo DiCaprio is amazing here. This is the movie he should have won the Oscar on. Am I right? I mean, Revenant's not bad, but he should have won it for The Wolf of Wall Street. That's for damn sure, man. I love this movie. A fantastic Martin Scorsese film. DiCaprio is on fire here. Jonah Hill is absolutely amazing as well. This is just a fantastic goddamn movie. Margot Robbie, let's just put it this way. When I saw it in the movie theater, the guys literally had their mouths open, right? Yeah. Stunning. It's just a wild movie, and just an amazing, crazy enough true story. Just an amazing, well acted film. It's like close to 3 hours long or something, but it doesn't matter because the time flies with this movie. Amazing. And the steelbook for $17.99, that's amazing. But that's not all, guys, because they also have the 4K limited edition steelbook of Psycho for $20. Oh my god, I love, I'm gonna say it again, love Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It is one of my favorite films of all time, guys. I own the old Universal Anniversary Blu-ray edition. I own that Best Buy Steelbook edition that came out. And I may just have to buy another edition of Psycho. That's how much I love Psycho. I own a lot of editions of it, man. I just love Psycho so much. I just love the mastery of this film. I love the black and white. I love how they sort of psych you out by the female that is supposed to be the leading lady, but turns into a complete misfire. And now suddenly you're left with this psychotic killer, or potentially psychotic killer, that you're like, oh, we gotta deal with him now? Like, he's the main person? Like, I love that sort of fake out. I think it's absolutely amazing, and Alfred Hitchcock was one of the first to ever do it. Amazing. Janet Leigh is fantastic here. Norman Bates is one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best horror villains of all time. I thought Anthony Perkins was spot on with this, did an amazing, iconic role that still survives to this day. And not only is Psycho amazing, but Psycho 2, 3, and 4, the prequel, I think are absolutely just as good. I think they're really well done stories. I think Anthony Perkins really brings his A game to all of them. I love the Psycho franchise so much, and it started with this Alfred Hitchcock classic, and I just love that. Look at the vivid colors. Oh, that looks so amazing. I already own it twice, but I am a sucker for Psycho. I just might have to do it, guys. I just might have to. My Psycho love knows no bounds. That is for damn sure, guys. Wow, look at this. That is amazing, man. Look at this. All this great Steelbook love. The Sting and Animal House at Target a week after it's at Best Buy. That's amazing, guys. That is incredible. Wow. That is pretty damn cool, guys. Not gonna lie. For all you Steelbook lovers who might have missed out the first time, come to Target, because you never quite know what you'll find. I hate to say it. Target with some unique surprises? Who'da thunk? So if you were to have told me last week that Target would have some of the Best Buy exclusive steelbooks in stock the following week, I would have told you that you are a fucking liar. But here we are, and they have them, and that is crazy. Let me tell you something, man. I knew we would get some new releases this week because, you know, it's a plentiful enough week. Target will have some stuff, but I was not expecting that Schwarzenegger double feature, lenticular steelbook, which is really cool. I definitely was not expecting the Best Buy exclusive steelbook love here at Target. And I was talking to the electronics manager here, and he says the reason why Target is starting to get some of this stuff is because he actually thinks that Best Buy is actually going to go out of business within the next year or so. And he actually thinks that they've made some inroads with some of these companies that are doing the exclusives because they feel like Target is a little bit more commercial, that they could get them into more stores, maybe more eyeballs on them, and that Best Buy is slowly going out. I don't know. I don't know if that's the truth. I have no idea about any of that stuff, guys. But the fact that they have it, that is kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, really, were you expecting it? Because I certainly wasn't. That's for damn sure, man. I don't know, but I would almost bet you that we will see more exclusive Best Buy Steelbook love here at Target in the future. I'm just saying, bet on it, because I think we will probably get it. Just saying, guys. Wow, that is amazing here. Some really fantastic and interesting stuff here at Target. Stuff I definitely was not expecting. That's for damn sure, guys. And I know you guys weren't expecting it either. But, you know, that's why we do the item out, because, you know, always expect the unexpected. That's for damn sure, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the next location. Hopefully more physical media love to come. All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie titles. If there is, I will bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys. Because I remember the old school G.I. Joe, American hero. I remember those old school days. Screw that. We need more badass martial arts action and rap music in our action war movies now. We need movies like Snake Eyes, damn it. Yes, we do, man. Snake Eyes, which is coming out this summer, G.I. Joe origin story. Wait a minute, we're now doing origin stories for the G.I. Joe characters? God, really? We're now doing origin stories for everybody. Might as well be Snake Eyes. Okay, sure, why not? Yes, Snake Eyes origin story, guys. Now, I wanted to check out the trailer because, truth be told, I do like some of the actors here. I mean, I like Henry Golding. I think he's actually really good. I loved him in Crazy Rich Asians. That movie with Emilia Clarke, Last Christmas, I thought was actually pretty decent. And you've also got Samara Weaving here. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. I actually think, at least in my opinion, Samara Weaving is one of the best young up-and-coming actresses working nowadays. I truly believe that. And so to see her in this big budget summer action movie kind of warms my heart to give her a little bit more exposure. So I'm all for that if it does. But I like the idea of, you know, how this guy becomes Snake Eyes and getting brought into this sort of criminal war underground stuff, and obviously having to sort of fight off the bad guys and become the man we know him as Snake Eyes. It does look good. The martial arts stuff looks pretty interesting here as well. you know let's be real. Martial arts movies, especially in the past 5-10 years, have definitely upped the ante as far as action is concerned. I mean, you look at some of those ones like The Raid and a few of other movies, and they have definitely raised the bar in a big bad way. So everything coming from these action movies since that point really has to sort of equal it or raise the bar. And I kind of like the sword play here. It looks really cool. I like the mysterious black costumes. It looks like a fun but yet intense G.I. Joe action movie. I don't know, man. I mean, those couple of G.I. Joe films that came out a few years back, I honestly was not really a fan of them. They weren't terrible, all things considered, but once you see Bruce Willis in the back of a pickup truck start mowing people down with like CGI backgrounds, you're like, okay, whatever. I got the Bruce Willis cheesy one-liners. What? Really? Come on, man. So I was like, whatever. I'm kind of hoping that this movie is more of like back to basics, because I don't really need huge CGI, action fest going on. I just need a simple action story with some good kills, some decent action sequences, some kick-ass action, some badass babes. That's all I really need, man. I don't need, Bruce Willis, with a big fucking gun, with like CGI stuff in the background, looking badass. Like, no. So I just hope for really a stripped down, basic kick-ass martial arts action movie that is based around the G.I. Joe legacy. That's really what I'm hoping for. And look, if there's more exposure to Henry Golding and Samara Weaving, well, that's great too, because they're good actors and they deserve a little bit more love. Why the origin stories? I don't really know. We went down this whole road of like action, like remakes and reboots and horror remakes and reboots, and we went through all that stuff, and now we're going through this whole like origin story stuff now. Like, well, we need an origin story for this person, we need an origin story for that person. I was like, really? Do we really need it? Not really, but we're gonna get it. All right, I guess I'll take it. I mean, hey, look, I am looking forward to it because of the actors, and hey, if it's a cool little martial arts action movie, then I'll take that too. Not half bad, man. Let me know what you guys think. The color palette looks cool, and hey, if you mix in some cool, like, rap music playing in the background, fine, I'll take whatever you give me. Let me know what you guys think about that. In the meantime, let's head into the second Walmart and see what goodies we find. Well, back in at the second Walmart, and I gotta admit, so far, it's been quite the intriguing week, hasn't it, guys? I mean, the second place had some very unique surprises, and now this place here, not gonna lie, the indie love this week is kind of on the low end. A few titles, not that much. However, a little does go a long way, and hey, those titles could be some really good gems we're checking out. So you know what that means, guys. We are heading back to Film Fan 108 HQ, and that means you, Seth. Yeah, you. Even though it's not much, you still gotta show off the media. Well, what do I get out of it? I'm not gonna bribe you this time. I'm not gonna bribe you. No. Alright. Can't blame a guy for trying. He's a tough one, guys. One of the days I'll crack them. Indeed I will, man. But boy, oh boy, has this been quite the interesting week, dare I say. Sometimes seeing nothing, sometimes seeing some very unique and interesting media that I was not expecting to see. It's been quite the topsy-turvy week, dare I say, man. But again, this is physical media. Would you really have it any other way? Come on, guys. I would not, man. And I kind of was thinking maybe we might see a lot of stuff at the second Walmart for the indie goodness. However, not so much this time around. I mean, we've actually been really lucky the past few weeks to have some really plentiful titles, like 6, 8, 10 titles to show off. So we've been really fortunate. And so, one week where we have a few things to show off, hey, I've always said when it comes to physical media, especially in the stores, it's not getting any easier with the stores and physical media, guys. It's getting harder every single week, every single month, every single year. So when I say a little goes a long way, trust me, it really does. And I will take any physical media over no physical media. That's for damn sure. So, Walmart weird indie goodness, even just a little bit of it, I'll settle. A little Walmart indie goodness never hurt nobody. Am I right, guys? Absolutely. It's a little bit, but come on. It's still worth it. It's Walmart indie goodness. Come on, guys. It's always, always worth it. Come on, you know I'm right. Let's dive in, shall we? With the first title to talk about, and that is none other than Hollow Point. Survivors, Outsiders, Vigilantes. Oh, let's see who's in this. Luke Goss, Michael Pear, Bill Duke, and Jay Moore. Wow, Jay Moore. Man, it's actually been a hot minute since I've seen Jay Moore in anything. Truth be told, man, I think the last thing I saw him in was the incredible Burt Wonderstone, I believe he was in. And I really loved him from a lot of stuff in the past. I mean, he was really good in that movie Picture Perfect. A lot of people don't remember that one, but really, really good. And he's been in a few other really solid entries as well. God, Jay Moore, man. Wonder what he's been up to. Jeez. Interesting. What is this about? When his wife and daughter are senselessly murdered, a grieving man finds himself caught up in a war between a group of charismatic vigilantes and the crime that infests their city. Ooh. I wonder, can vigilantes really be charismatic? Well, if it's my man Bronson, you damn right he is. If it's more like Bruce Willis, well, not so much. I wonder which category these people are going to fall into. I actually kind of like that idea of crime running rampant in the city, these vigilantes who are out for justice and wanting to clean up the city, and the man who is caught in the middle, and I guarantee you that is Luke Goss. Luke Goss is decent. Truth be told, I don't automatically love Luke Goss, to be real with you. I mean, there's two movies that I really love him in. Blade 2, which he was absolutely fantastic as the villain in that movie. Really, really great. And then I really liked him in Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. I thought he was absolutely awesome in that movie. Again, playing the villain. But does a really, really fantastic job, man. And he kind of just mainly does straight to DVD movies nowadays. Pretty much that's his go-to thing. I mean, he's trying to be the sort of drama action guy. You know, if you can't get Seagal, and if you can't get Van Damme, and, if you can't get a lot of other folks right down the line, down and down and down and dude. Hey, I think Luke Goss is available. Yeah, that's what you get with Luke Goss, man. And to be fair, there has been some that he's actually been pretty good in as of recent. There was one that he did that I really liked not too long ago was Pay Dirt. Yes. I actually did talk about Pay Dirt a while back when this got sent to me as a review copy, and it wasn't bad. I actually kind of liked Luke Goss in this one. It's an interesting sort of man get out of prison looking for revenge and a very, very plentiful score. Really, really good movie, man. Thought it was not half bad, and Luke Goss was pretty good in it. So, all things considered, guys, to be fair, he can be a good actor given the right material. Again, that's the right material, man. I mean, you've got a pretty much, straight to DVD staple. You have Michael Paré, who was once a really, really solid actor a long, long time ago and just needs a paycheck. Jay Moore, who was virtually forgotten. Yeah. Say, who's who of mega straight to DVD icons. Yay. I'm sure it's decent, guys. It's an action movie that's not probably gonna blow you away, to be honest with you, but it may be worth at least an hour and a half watch. Maybe. Maybe. Or it could leave you hollow. Pun definitely intended. Hollow point. Luke Goss with a gun. I miss the good old days of him wanting to bite Wesley Snipes. Deadly Force. Mission. Budapest. Your mission. To find Mila Jovovich better movies. Good luck. Oh, baby, what is this? They got the best. She recruited the rest. Oh, that says a lot about this movie, now don't it? Oh, man. Truth be told, I actually kind of like the cover to it. It's colorful. I like some of the fire explosions. It piques my fancy. What can I say? Oh, boy. What is this about? Daredevil and extreme sport lover Zhao Fang has always lived life on the edge, but when he inadvertently gets caught up in an international illegal trade scheme, that edge has never been thinner. Crossing paths with international special agent Bruce Mila Jovovich. Huh. Her name is Bruce. Actually, not gonna lie, that's really perfect, because, here she kind of looks like a man. Well, it is true, guys. Come on. Oh, man. He finds himself recruited by the mysterious and deadly operative to join the shadowy order of the Phantom Knighthood. Jeez. Say that 5 times fast. Team with scrappy police officer Mao Yan, scientist Ding Shan, and unemployed Dr. L.V. Shengfen, and the others become the oldest, newest crime-fighting unit in company with senior agent Bruce. These 4 rookies must do battle with die-hard terrorists in this action-packed film. Okay. Oh, man. I saw the trailer to this. Alright, truth be told, I did, and I was actually wanting to watch this movie for the out and about this week, and I could not get a chance to watch it. It's not on Amazon Prime. I tried checking on YouTube and other places. It's just not. If you're going to watch it, you have to pick up the actual DVD or Blu-ray to actually watch this damn thing. And I don't think I'm willing to give that a blind buy. Just saying, guys. However, the trailer looked interesting, right? I mean, it's these Freemasons, it's this, knighthood operation, whatever the fuck it is. It's CGI explosions, CGI action sequences. Shit, I'm surprised Mila Jovovich isn't CGI, for fuck's sake. I mean, God, it's just so much artificial stuff on the screen. It's kind of like if you put Triple X and James Bond and, the Bourne films, and you just put them in a blender, and if you add, a little dog shit and put it in, it might resemble something kind of like those movies, but not really. Yeah, that's Deadly Force for you. Look, I do like Mila Jovovich, or I should say, I used to like Mila Jovovich. I mean, you look at something like The Fifth Element or the original Resident Evil, which is really fantastic, and you even look back at old school stuff that she did, movies like Chaplin, which she was really great in, and a few other things. I mean, she's not a bad actress, it's just the roles that she picks, man. I mean, come on, like some of these ones really are really friggin' terrible. I mean, Monster Hunter really wasn't all that great. The Three Musketeers movie, well, come on, that's plain old dog shit. The other Resident Evil movies, I mean, she gets to do cool action, but she can't act her way out of a wet paper bag in those films. Actually, for the most part, she can. I mean, even in the trailer to this movie, she is so fucking monotone, guys. I mean, seriously, she's like, my name is Bruce. And kind of sounds familiar, right? When in those Resident Evil movies, my name is Alice. Like, come on, man. Can you show some fucking emotion? Like you're not a heartless robot from the future ready to come back and kill people? Actually, not gonna lie, if she was actually a deadly Terminator with no emotion, I'd probably believe that more. I like, seriously, man. I mean, what about the old school days, man? Damn, I miss those days. It's a problem. She's been working with her husband too much. Paul W.S. Anderson. It's fucked her all up. I'm telling you, man. Damn. She's got to get out from under that. I mean, I used to like her. She's a good actress. She's done some interesting things, but see, the thing about it is that when you're a when you're an actress that does these type of action movies, right? You do a few of them, you become really successful. Like I said, she did Fifth Element, and then she did Resident Evil, and that was really successful. And then she went on to do this and this and that, and then she just kept doing the same shtick over and over. And she never really challenged herself in the acting department, and she kept making really bad decisions about movies that she was in. And eventually, we get Deadly Force Mission Budapest. Yeah. Mm. Where she looks like a man and her name is Bruce. Yeah, that's what happens when you work with your husband too damn much. Oh, Lord. Mila, I love you. I love you, Mila. Please, get a better agent. And for that matter, a better husband. And last, but certainly not least, deliver us from evil. Yes. What a great cover, man. I love the red there and the guy protecting the little girl. Love it. Nice, very nice. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, guys, and I wanted to watch it because I had seen the trailer. I liked the intensity from it, and I figured I don't get into a lot of foreign releases, so might as well give this one a chance, man. So, I figure, why not dive in? Now, basically, this movie is about this sort of mercenary, gun for hire, who is basically tasked to find this little girl who has been kidnapped, went missing. And he is on a bloody trail to try to find her. In the meantime, there's this other guy who is hot on the mercenary's trail who actually kind of owes him a little bit of revenge for some bad blood in the past. And we are off and running, guys. Now, I have to admit, this movie was pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't really know what to expect when I started watching the movie. I mean, it looked impressive, but looks can be deceiving. But this time around, it actually worked out really well, man. I really quite liked this movie quite a bit. I thought the action was really great here. I love, as I said, the intensity is amazing here, man, because this guy leaves a bloody trail wherever he goes, and he does not give two damns about who is in his way. He's mowing everybody down in like this bloody path. Him and this other guy who's out for revenge, literally, they don't care if they're slicing them with knives, shooting them with guns. hacking off limbs. They don't give a damn, man. Fingers, who needs them? They're chopping everything off, man. And if anyone gets in their way, God bless them. Because they're gonna be a pool of blood when they done with them. Oh man, dude. It's really solid, man, with a really great plot, some interesting characters. Like I said, the action is pretty intense here, and it kind of reminded me of a couple things. It reminded me of I Saw the Devil. Now, truth be told, it's not really like I Saw the Devil because they're really completely two totally different movies, to be honest with you. But it it sort of reminded me of the high intensity action and just the drama of these two men that have a history and have a past and eventually they're going to cross paths. Like that is kind of what it reminded me of. But it also reminded me of that Denzel Washington movie Man on Fire. It really did, almost like a foreign version of that where this guy is just wanting to find this little girl and will do anything and kill anybody and torture anyone to get the information that he needs to finally get this girl to safety. And I really like that. And by the way, Man on Fire is an amazing goddamn movie, man. Denzel is awesome in that. Incredibly intense, man. And what great action sequences. That's really cool. And it definitely reminded me of that. So I guess to say if you're into foreign Chinese, Japanese sort of action intensity, if you like movies like Man on Fire, then give Deliver Us from Evil a chance. It's not perfect. There is some slow parts in there, but once the movie gets going, once sort of the action peaks, this thing is like nonstop and it doesn't stop until the very end. And man, was this really good. I mean, there's a whole sequence in here where this guy is literally torturing this dude and he's about to be basically like crunching fingers off and you can see the blood pouring and the guy's like going and I'm like don't stop. And I'm like, oh man, like the movie is sick and so am I. Oh man, I do love a good bloody action spectacular, and Deliver Us from Evil has a really good dramatic plot. I like the whole idea of saving this little girl from human traffickers, which is really fascinating of what they do to these kids, and just you're just waiting for these people's comeuppance, and when they get it, oh baby, do they get it, man. Pretty damn impressive. Went in with no expectations and came out pleasantly surprised. That's for damn sure. Quite the interesting movie. Deliver Us from Evil. Not half bad. And not half bad this time around, guys. I mean, small handful of titles from the second Walmart, but again, a little goes a long way. And with the second Walmart, all that bizarre indie weirdness, I'll take anything. Never mix vigilantes with straight to DVD movies. It's just honestly a rule of thumb, guys. Oh, and had you told me a long time back when I watched The Fifth Element in the movie theaters that years and years later Mila Jovovich would be in a shitty straight to DVD movie where she looks like a man and her name is Bruce, man, you really would have ruined my wet dreams. Oh, and if you're gonna kidnap a kid, make sure that the mercenary isn't going after your ass. Let's be honest, you're dead before you hit the floor. Oh, yes, indeed, baby. Oh, a little bit of Walmart, any goodness. Never hurt nobody. Damn right it never did, guys. Not half bad this week. Not a lot to show off, but hey, I'll take it. I mean, it's kind of interesting because I don't know what was going on with the Walmarts this week. They didn't have a lot of stuff in stock. Crazy enough, I don't know whether the trucks were late or something, but boy, they just didn't have anything, man. But it's been kind of weird this week, hasn't it? I mean, There's been a store that has literally nothing, other stores that have some new releases and some really interesting surprises, and another one that has a little bit of indie goodness. Hey, you know what? Look, man, when you're doing these out and abouts, truth be told, it really is a gamble, man. And physical media, in a lot of ways, has become that gamble, hasn't it? Because I think that as the years have gone on and physical media has become more niche, a lot of stores either A, don't care as much, or B, don't really invest in the physical media as they used to. You gotta remember, this ain't 10 years ago, man. Circuit City ain't around, Media Play's not around, Blockbuster's not around, Family Video's gone, you name it, man. And so, physical media has taken a beating. It has. It just honestly has. Truth be told, man. But that doesn't mean that you can't find stuff. It means you have to search a little bit more. But I do feel that every title, whether it's the biggest release or the smallest title, really does deserve to be shown off to you guys. And it really is the honest truth. Because I really do feel that every movie deserves its place one way or another. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I have things in my collection that nobody likes other than me. Truth be told, man, and some of it is the most real, like, garbage title that you probably think, like, why would I even like that? But it's something that really sort of spoke to me at the time, and I really enjoy it. Then there's other titles where I look at and I'm like, why would anybody own this? It's terrible. But then again, somebody is gonna lie like it. Everybody's collection is unique to that individual person. And just because I may not agree with a certain title that somebody has, or they don't agree with a certain title that I have, yada yada yada, vice versa, doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong, or vice versa, I'm wrong and they're right. It doesn't matter. Your collection is unique to you. And I like to show off every title to give you guys an opportunity. If you feel the need to want to own that, oh, that looks cool, I'm going to own it. Okay, that's not for me, but it's for you. And that's what I appreciate, man. And I think that's what makes physical media truly, truly special. In an age of digital, where you scroll through with buttons, looking at a little tiny screen with a little bit of a synopsis, and that's all you get to actually look at the artwork. You get to see the back with the pictures and the synopsis, and you actually get to really dive into that stuff. And there's something about it that feels special. And it doesn't matter whether it's a cheesy B-movie action title or whether it's really the biggest new release that comes out this week. Everything deserves to be seen because physical media is that precious. And everything needs to be cherished in one way or another. So that's what I think I try to do, and I think that's what a lot of collectors try to do, is just try to show off the whole perspective. Because physical media deserves it. There's so many things in this world that has went the way of the dinosaur, and maybe one day physical media might be that. Truth be told, it might. Years from now, it may not even be a thing in any of these stores. But at least I have the comfort of knowing that there was these really cool titles out there that was worth exploring, and at least I gave them a chance for what they were. Good, bad, Walmart weirdness, it doesn't matter, guys. Every title deserves its just due, and hopefully you guys find something special. If you do, put it in the collection, cherish it. If not, hey, it's cool to check out the media regardless, isn't it? At least I think so. It's been quite the interesting week, dare I say, but that's not all. We got the fourth location to go to, and let me tell you guys, it's had its off weeks, and its good weeks. What will this week have in store? Guess we'll just have to find out. Alright, everybody, we are at our fourth location, and, had some interesting surprises this week, that's for sure. But could we have some more when we go to the Beast? Yes, indeed. We are at our next location, and that is none other than the Beast Best Buy, baby. I am curious because it's a decent release week, guys, all things considered, but we haven't seen a ton of media as far as new stuff is concerned. A little bit here, a little bit there, but not a ton. What can we expect from Best Buy? Maybe some Steelbook exclusive love, maybe some more new releases we haven't checked out. It's possible. You never know with the bees, good, bad. We've had good weeks and we've had rough weeks, but what will we expect this time? Well, let's go in and find out. All right, we are in at Best Buy, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a little light for this week, man, not gonna lie. I mean, they actually did sell out of that Steelbook for the Sting that I saw last week. However, Target does have it, so if you are still looking for it, go to Target. And the same with Animal House, because the regular 4K and the Steelbook is out here as well. But again, if you go to your Target, you might strike gold. Just saying, man. But they do have the regular Saw 4K little things. They still have a few unique little things up here. Still a lot of Wonder Woman 84. I have a feeling it's going to sit a while, guys. However, we do have one new release over in this section, and that is none other than Chaos Walking. Yes, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $19.99, the 4K Blu-ray digital for $27.99, and holy shit, they actually have an exclusive for Chaos Walking. I honestly did not know they had that one this week, guys. For $29.99, the 4K Blu-ray digital only at Best Buy Steelbook. Well, that's interesting. Daisy Ridley on the front, Tom Holland in the back. All right. Business in the front, party in the back. I don't know if that's true, I'm just saying, guys. But, oh man, Chaos Walking. It's not a bad looking steel, but kind of weird though. Kind of almost looks like somebody took like a white pen and just sort of fucking scribbled all over it, man. I don't know, that's a weird one. I guess it kind of looks good. I don't know, it kind of looks odd to me. I guess I kind of like this cover better than the Steelbook though. I don't know, this one, I'm not really a big fan of this one, but I know some people are going to dig it, so hey, they got it. Now, this movie is directed by Doug Liman. Now, I also wanted to watch this because of Doug Liman. I am a big Doug Liman fan. Truth be told, I really am. I mean, a lot of people forget that he directed Swingers, which is a really great movie. Of course, Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, fantastic sci-fi action movie. He did that. Of course, he directed Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He directed the very first Bourne film, Bourne Identity, if you guys forgot about that one. He also directed another really great comedy that's actually a favorite of mine, Go, with Sarah Polley. That is a really fantastic movie. I love that. Crazy hijink comedy. Love it. Different stories kind of intertwining. Very, very fantastic one. And you know, it's kind of interesting because he also ended up directing Jumper with Hayden Christensen, which I actually kind of like Jumper. I know a lot of people kind of shit on Jumper a lot. It really bombed bad at the box office, but I do kind of like it. It's kind of weird because they kind of set up that they were going to do more films, and then it just kind of died off because it didn't do anything, which kind of sucks because I would have loved to seen more, but, you know. Some movies fail, some movies succeed, and that one unfortunately bombed. But, hey, you take a swing and you miss. It happens, man. But I got to admit, where Doug Liman has really hit the mark in a lot of ways with a lot of movies, even a movie like American Made with Tom Cruise, again, a really solid film and that I really, really love. Sometimes he doesn't hit the mark, and Chaos Walking is one where he did not hit the mark, guys. I'm going to be real with that. I'm going to be very honest, man. I mean, it just kind of felt like... See, the problem with a movie like this is that if it's based off of a book series, you're thinking franchise, right? You're thinking franchise, you're thinking, you know, how do we make it for the biggest, widest audience possible? And in some ways, you have studio executives that get in the way and other creative people that want their voices heard, and it just kind of gets lost in translation, and the movie turns into a real hot mess. And Chaos Walking is one of those ones that really turns into a hot mess, man. And actually, crazy enough, from what I know, the test screenings, as I said earlier, went really horribly wrong. There was an original ending to this movie that apparently was so bad that people literally were walking out. They hated it that much. And when they did the reshoots, there was actually another director that was brought in to help Doug Liman, Fede Alvarez, from the Evil Dead remake and Don't Breathe. He came in to help him with the actual reshoots that cost over $15-20 million. It was absolutely insane, man. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it didn't really make the movie any better. Truth be told, it really didn't, guys. It's just, I mean, sometimes reshoots turn out to be really great. You know, you're adding a little bit here, you're tweaking a little thing there, but here you're absolutely, from what I heard, changing the whole dynamic of the story and the characters just to please the audience. And I get it. A studio is out to make money, right? And if they realize that this is not going to make a lot of money, then they want to tweak it and try to maybe adjust it and work it out. I mean, this movie got delayed as shit over and over again, and I can see why. It's just a really big mess, man. I mean, the action sequences are not really all that exciting. They try to pretend to put this big operatic music in, like, oh, whoa. Yeah, nah, it doesn't really work, man. And even the explanations of why the women are gone, I mean, you could kind of guess that a mile away. It was also very predictable. You knew that these people were not that nice. The people, you knew that Mads Mikkelsen was the villain. You kind of saw everything coming a mile away. It's so weird because if you look at a movie like this and look at a movie like Edge of Tomorrow, they're two totally different experiences, which is crazy. And they're directed by the same guy, which is nuts, man. I mean, it just goes to show you that when you have a certain amount of creative freedom, that when you're able to tell the story you want to tell and the actors are on board, then you could really hit it out of the park. But when you're really saddled and put on the restraints and people are second guessing you and voicing their opinions and studio executives want this and people want that, it turns into a nightmare. And Chaos Walking is really one of those, man. Truly is, man. And another thing you have to think of again is look at Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. They're up and coming actors. They really, really are. And so you have the agents and you have their people that are like, oh, well, I don't like this thing and I want to change that up. And you know what happened. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I like Tom Holland. I like Daisy Ridley, but they really needed something more in their career. I mean, Daisy Ridley only has really Star Wars. I mean, she's done a few other small roles, but really it's only Star Wars that she's got. She needs hits badly. And as far as Tom Holland is concerned, I mean, he has Spider-Man, and that's great. I didn't see The Devil All the Time, which I heard was pretty decent, but I mean, he's going to try his luck with Uncharted. I'll have to wait to see the trailer on that one. I just don't really see him as Nathan Drake. I mean, do you? I don't really. Maybe he could be good, but I don't really see it, man. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, like, I wasn't really the biggest... I don't know. I wasn't really the biggest fan of this. I mean, like I said, I like Daisy Ridley. I like Tom Holland. I think they're good actors, but I mean, they need a hit really badly. Doug Liman, who, yes, American Made was a really good movie, didn't make a lot of money. Edge of Tomorrow, great movie, didn't make a lot of money. Jumper flopped at the box office. So even though he's a great director, again, money talks, bullshit walks. And so they're probably thinking to themselves, well, hey, you need a hit too. And they were just trying to force it. And you can't force a hit. You just can't, man. It just comes naturally. And this one, hate to say it, was a really, really forced limp dick down the throat. Just saying, guys. Oh, man. Good God, dude. And by the way, in this movie, if you didn't realize, Tom Holland's name in this is Todd Hewitt. How do you know? Because he keeps on saying, I'm Todd Hewitt, I'm Todd Hewitt, I'm Todd Hewitt, I'm Todd Hewitt, over and over and over again, fucking ad nauseum. Yes, we know your name is Todd Hewitt. You don't have to say it or think it in your head constantly and have it hit head over the audience. There's literally characters in this movie that are trying to tell him to shut the fuck up, and I was trying to tell him to shut the fuck up. Not gonna lie, some of the dialogue is clunky, some of the characters can get a little on your nerves. Yeah, it had potential, but that potential failed big time. Sorry guys, just speaking the honest truth. But if you did like the movie after I shit all over it, they do have the interesting Best Buy exclusive steelbook, which I was not expecting for that. Interesting. Sometimes they do steelbooks for movies that I don't get why they do it, and then they don't do ones for I'm like, why aren't they doing them? Really? Cast walking? Okay, well, cool, I guess. I mean, they do have actually some really great special features. Holy shit. A ton of featurettes, audio commentary. I mean, Jesus, for a movie that flopped hard and is really not that great, God, they put a lot of special features into this thing. Damn, movies that make a lot of money, they don't put a lot of special features in, but Cast Walking? This one's going to be a real conundrum for me, guys, not going to lie. Hey, they tried. Failed. But tried. Okay, well, at least one thing this week to check out, not bad. Let's hope some more stuff that Best Buy can deliver on. And then on the other side of the new releases, guys, I was noticing actually that they had the regular 4K edition of Psycho, 4K Blu-ray and digital for $22.99. So they did actually come out with a regular 4K of Psycho this week. I didn't realize that the regular 4K was coming out, and well, they did sell out of the steelbook. However, if you go to Target, you may just find it. You may indeed, but I didn't realize they were actually putting one out this week. That's actually really cool, man. I mean, of course, I own Psycho a lot, but if you don't have it, and why wouldn't you have it? Because, like, Psycho is one of the best movies of all time, one of the best horror movies of all time. Why wouldn't you have it? But if you don't, well, another format to pick it up on. Not half bad, man. And I gotta tell you, Psycho is one of those movies that is like an Alien or a Terminator, where like this is such a popular title that every time a new format comes out, you're almost guaranteed to see it on that format. Like, there's certain movies that barely ever get released on a new format, or if they do, it's so many years down the road. But movies like Psycho are so popular that when a new format comes down the line, it gets released multiple times. And I guarantee you, if we get another like new format, 8K or whatever, you are going to see Psycho on that format. It's gotten so many physical media releases, man. I can't even count how many releases it's had. Whether it's through VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray, and now 4K. Oh, baby. Throughout the formats, it's continued to reign supreme. And the movie has continued to reign supreme. I mean, I am a Alfred Hitchcock fan, to be sure. I mean, Vertigo and The Birds and Rebecca and North by Northwest and so many really, really great movies that this man has done. But there's something about Psycho that to me just is still really awesome and I still love. And I really can't even explain it, man. I just really, truly love it. It's just the black and white when he could have filmed it in color, but he took a gamble on the black and white, even though that was slowly getting phased out. Also, the fact that he literally forced theater owners to refuse service to anybody getting to the movie late. If you got to the movie late, you could not be entered into the theater until the next showing. True story, you would not be entered in, man. And because he didn't want to spoil the actual like shock within the film, and he forced them to do it. How many filmmakers could actually do that nowadays? Not many, man. I mean, there's something about this movie that's bold filmmaking, simple but yet effective at the same time. But I just really appreciate Alfred Hitchcock as a master of suspense. Somebody that you think you might have seen all the tricks up his sleeve, but then he does something that you're not expecting. And I just truly, truly appreciate that, man. Really, honestly do. It's a movie that lasts, and it's a movie that's iconic for these actors, and even somebody like Anthony Perkins, who never really got past the Norman Bates role. He did so many really great roles, both on stage and screen, but Norman Bates was the one that stuck with him all this time, and I can see why. It's iconic, man. It truly, truly is iconic, man, and well deserved, man. It probably looks pretty decent on 4K, If you don't have it on any of the other formats, well, what are you waiting for? Psycho is good anytime in any format. Don't matter what. Don't you need a little Psycho love in your life? I know I sure do. Not half bad. And look at all the great special features, man. Woo! And 2 versions of Psycho as well. Psycho Uncut, that version is not very long. It has like a few seconds here, a few seconds there. Not really much. A little bit more stabbing, a little bit more like ominous stuff, but not a lot. Still, it's nice as far as a like movie completist to have both versions. Not half bad, man. Psycho love. I love it, man. I love it. And with Norman Bates, one of the best horror villains of all time, I truly do understand when he says sometimes we all go a little mad. We all do. Especially when it comes to physical media. Don't we all? Not half bad, man. Not half bad. Nice. Some interesting stuff so far. Let's see where else Best Buy takes us. And then over on the back side here, guys, it does look a little empty. Well, it kind of is. However, there is stuff still worth checking out. Indeed there is. And the first thing I'm seeing is they have the DVD digital of Happily for $12.99. I'm actually really shocked to see this here at Best Buy, only because they usually don't carry a lot of DVDs. So I'm actually kind of happy that they have it. No pun intended. So I got a chance to watch this thing on Amazon Prime, and I really didn't know exactly what to expect. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Joel McHale, so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this one, but I'm gonna kind of give it a chance. And basically what it's about is this really happy, loving couple who is very much still into one another. They've had 14 years of marriage, and they're just still all over one another. I mean, they're having sex like 2-3 times a day. They never fight. They never argue. They always agree with one another. And their friends are like, Jesus Christ, like, can you guys just give it a break and you get off each other? We're kind of a little sick of it, man. I mean, come on here. You had to get tired of each other at some point, right? And they're like, no, we love each other. And one day, this mysterious man comes to their door and basically apologizes and says that they've made a mistake, that there's this weird anomaly that has happened that has caused them to be a very happy couple when they shouldn't have, that they should have never gotten together, and there's this serum that they should take, and they're kind of confused. They're like, wait a minute, is this a prank? Is this real? What's going on? And sort of the movie sort of spins from there. This was a very odd movie, okay? I'm not gonna lie, man. It's very weird. I mean, I kind of enjoyed the oddball weirdness of the movie. There was a certain amount of charm to it that I liked, because on one hand it's a drama, on the other hand it's a thriller, in another point it's kind of like a comedy with sort of the goofy married couples and their retreat. And wait a minute, are they in on this? Is this kind of a prank? Is this not a prank? Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in this film, man. And at some points you're laughing, at some points you're like on the edge of your seat not knowing what's going to happen next. It's a very odd and weird mix, but I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie, man. And I actually did like Joel McHale here. Yes, he's kind of ridiculous at times, but not so much that it becomes distracting or that you are kind of like, oh geez, come on, really, seriously. Not at all. I thought that Carrie Bechet did a really great job here, and so did Stephen Root, who I really love. Stephen Root, I mean, come on, from Office Space. Yeah, he's great, man. Small role, but really, really good, man. I thought it was actually pretty decent, all things considered. It's kind of like one of those madcap fantasy comedies, right? Like, what would happen if a loving couple wasn't really supposed to be together? And sort of everything sort of spins from there. I kind of like that everything sort of is starting to fall apart in their lives, and the hilarity of that, but also the dramatic horror and the realization that couples are not supposed to be happy all the time. Like, that really sort of worries me. I love my girlfriend. I love her with all my heart, and we've been together like almost 5 years now. And it would be so weird, like, having like 14 years of marriage and not being happy every time you wake up in the morning next to that person, or when you're kissing them, or whether you're making love. Like, that's so weird to me. But with this movie, it's almost like one of those weird Twilight Zone episodes, where it actually honestly is. It kind of feels like a Twilight Zone episode, where it's like, the world is upside down when seeing a happy married couple turns into a crisis. Like, I just find that odd. But I kind of like that they spin it into this really sort of nightmarish comedy, which really worked, man. I thought it was actually kind of fun and kind of clever. And I'm not gonna lie, even though I really liked the film, I do have to admit that the ending was kind of limp dick, kind of just there. I was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more of a gut punch, which I didn't really get. But I gotta admit, for a movie that I went in with literally no expectations, and I'm not a fan of Joel McHale, I actually did kind of like the movie, man. Actually, truth be told, it was one of those movies where you just kind of went with it. The opening sequence is like this sort of disco techno music, and I'm like, okay, I'm digging it. I'm like digging it. And then suddenly, like, they look in each other's eyes, and the next thing they're fucking in the bathroom, and this guy is like, man, I need to take a piss. Can somebody get the fuck out of the bathroom? And like, they're like, yeah, they're just gonna be in there for hours, man. Just, they're like, God, are they a newlywed couple? No. Are they just dating? No, they've been married for 14 years. Jesus, and they have sex 2-3 times a day. If anybody who has had 14 years of marriage has sex 2-3 times a day, God bless their ever-loving heart. Oh, Lord. It's great. It's a little weird. You gotta go with the premise. But if you do, I think you'll find a lot of enjoyment out of happily. Crazy enough. And speaking of Hitchcock 4K love, The Birds for $22.99, the 4K Blu-ray digital. Not bad, man. I didn't realize that a couple of 4K editions were coming out of some of Alfred Hitchcock's more iconic films. Not bad, actually. Very nice, man. Now, they were actually supposed to have a Steelbook edition. That probably all sold out, but if you go to Target, you might strike gold. Absolutely, man. Wow, man, I really, really love The Birds, man. So absolutely awesome, man. From the acting with Tippi Hedren to the special effects with the birds. It's really interesting, man, because he used real birds, he used animatronic birds, he used like little birds on a wire. He used all kinds of tricks of the trade of filmmaking back in that day to really make it as effective as humanly possible, and it works. It really does, man. It's so amazing what he was able to get away with as a filmmaker, and all the tricks of the trade that he knew, and just put it to great, wonderful effect in this movie, man. It's just really effective, like birds going haywire and attacking people. So absolutely awesome. If this movie was made nowadays, it would just be all crazy CGI birds coming at you and in your face and everything. And yeah, I'm sure it would look kind of awesome, but at the same time, it would feel really fake and plastic. And there's something about the original birds where you really feel like these things are really fucking attacking people, because, they kind of are, man. And I also gotta say, man, with Tippi Hedren, Alfred Hitchcock was obsessed with Tippi Hedren. I mean, truth be told, he was very, very obsessed with her, to the point of almost like madness. But to be honest with you, let's be real, man. I mean, he knew how to shoot his leading ladies. He knew how to do that. And to be honest with you, he made the most effective of them. They were awesome. And he really did a great, great job, man. So give it up for Alfred Hitchcock, man. He knew how to shoot his leading ladies in a beautiful, beautiful way, man. Even though he was kind of madly obsessed with them at times, like Tippi Hedren, he knew how to shoot a leading lady. And by the way, he did love his blondes. Actually, most of his leading ladies, if you really look back on it, were blondes. I don't know, he just had a thing for blondes for some odd reason, but it's Alfred Hitchcock. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He's a master of suspense. The man's that damn good. Absolutely, man. Huh. Some interesting bonus features as well. Not half bad. Nice. A little more Alfred Hitchcock 4K love. Never hurt nobody. More 4K love? Yes, indeed, guys. With the 4K digital of Super 8 for $19.99. Yes, look at this. Sweet. Look at that, baby. Very, very nice, man. Now, there was actually supposed to be a steelbook that came out this week for Super 8, but I don't actually see it anywhere. Maybe it sold out. Maybe they didn't get any in. I don't know. I don't even see a tag for it, but maybe one day we'll see it. But in the meantime, just the regular 4K level Super 8 ain't half bad, man. And speaking of the movie, I really, really love Super 8. I actually already own the Blu-ray of this, guys. But it's interesting because I saw this in the movie theater and I love this so much. And it's kind of interesting because now I see so much love for Super 8. People, when this got announced, were like, oh my god, Super 8, I love this movie, it's so amazing, and heaping all the praise on it, which is really great to see. But I remember when this movie came out in 2011, and a lot of people were shitting on this movie. Swear to God, people were like, this is a ripoff. This is a ripoff of Goonies and E.T. and they were naming a bunch of them. They're like, this is a terrible ripoff, and this isn't even an homage, and J.J. Abrams should be ashamed of himself, and he's just aping off of Steven Spielberg. And there was so much hate for this movie. I swear to God, guys, there really was. So to see, like, 10 years later, this movie getting the love that it has actually kind of shocks me, but I'm very pleasantly surprised, man. I really always love this. And yes, I wouldn't say it's a ripoff of E.T. or some of those other ones, but I do think it is a nice homage, and J.J. Abrams has always said that he's been influenced by Steven Spielberg, and you can definitely see it in Super 8. And it's interesting because, yes, J.J. Abrams was J.J. Abrams at that time. I mean, he had created, a lot of great TV shows like Lost and whatnot, Alias, but he had also directed Mission Impossible 3 at this point, and Star Trek, the 2009 one. He hadn't done the sequel to Star Trek, and of course he had not done any of the Star Wars things yet. So he was still very much establishing himself as a director in a lot of ways. But I think this, honestly, Super 8 is one of his best movies, truly. I mean, it's never going to be as popular as a Star Trek or a Star Wars, but I think it's way more effective, and I think it's just a much better story and the characters, and I think it's a much more iconic and well-made film than some of those other ones. I really do. This is the movie. I think, yes, he's going to be remembered for a lot of stuff, but as far as pure filmmaking is concerned and a fairly somewhat original idea, I kind of feel like he's mostly going to be remembered in a lot of circles for Super 8, and rightfully so, man. I thought that this was such a really great creative movie. I thought the kids were really fantastic here, really well drawn, great personalities. I love the sci-fi aspects to this with the actual alien and the spaceship and the kids, wanting to like find it and go on this, great adventure. It's any sort of classic old school kids thing that they do, right? They want to go on an adventure with their friends and all the great sort of hijinks that they get into, and it sort of scratched an itch for me that I love. It's movies like this, or Explorers, or E.T., or The Goonies, and so many other stuff. I mean, that's why I love Stranger Things as much as I do, because it just reminds me of that old school nostalgia that I just really appreciate, man. And this is such a really wonderfully well-drawn film, man, and I just love it so much, dude. I already own this. Not sure I'm going to really get the 4K of it. I've heard mixed things that it's only a slight upgrade from the Blu-ray. So for $19.99, when I already own it, probably going to pass on this. But that being said, guys, if you have not seen Super 8, if you like those old school kids adventure movies from back in the day mixed with a little sci-fi love, you gotta watch this, man. This is so good. And again, like J.J. Abrams, yes, he can do superhero movies. Yes, he can do sci-fi movies. He can do the big sprawling blockbuster stuff, but I like something like Super 8. Yes, it's big and bombastic and some are blockbuster-like, but it's also a very personal story about kids and friendship and, you know, overcoming obstacles in their life and you know, learning life lessons. And it's just a lot of really, really great stuff wrapped into a really fantastic fantasy style movie that I think J.J. Abrams definitely aced. Super 8 is absolutely amazing, man, and well worth your time by far. And some interesting special features as well. Like I said, if you love those old school nostalgia kids adventure movies and you're dying for another one in your life, I gotta tell ya, Super 8, especially within the past 10 or 20 years, is one of the best ones to come out. You gotta check it out, guys. And then a new release we have not seen yet, the Blu-ray digital of American Fighter. Very nice. Look at that. Very American, isn't it? Nice. His battle never ends. Ooh. Boy, that's a sucker punch gone horribly wrong. Wow. Watch out for the uppercut, buddy. It's a doozy. Oh, man. He'll be a hero if he survives. They couldn't come up with a better tagline? How about just he'll be a hero, not if he survives? That's not the American way, damn it. Well, at least that's what we think. Oh, boy. So, this is interesting. You've got Sean Patrick Flannery here, Tommy Flanagan. God, where have I seen Tommy Flanagan before? I'm trying to think. God, he looks so familiar, doesn't he? Oh, you know what I'm thinking? Like, he was in, like, Smokin' Aces. He was in Braveheart, Face Off. A whole bunch of movies, man. Yeah, I kind of remember him now. Sin City. Yeah, he was in Sin City, too, wasn't he? Yeah, gotta remember him now. Wow, he's been in a ton of stuff. Oh, shit. Not really the star sort of actor, but it's nice that he's sort of getting his own sort of, like, starring style movie. Or at least sharing the credit with Sean Patrick Flannery. I mean, not half bad, man. Nice. What is this about, man? Let's see. Desperate for cash to save his deathly ill mother, college wrestler Ali enters the hidden world of underground fighting. Ali shows promise but lacks skill and gets beaten bloody. Oof. Duke Trouble Handler takes pity on the boy and trains him to be a fierce competitor. True story, really. Nice. Okay. It could be cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Sean Patrick Flannery was in that recent fighting movie that I absolutely really liked, Born a Champion. I really dug that movie, man. I thought it was actually really, really well done. Totally was not expecting that to be good. I thought it was gonna be a complete turkey, and it actually really surprised me, man. So, why not try his hand at another fighting movie? I mean, he's not the one that's fighting. He's just the handler here, but I would be kind of intrigued with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I would be really, really intrigued. I gotta admit, not all sort of fighting movies are made equal. You know what I mean? I mean, the Rocky movies are so iconic, and you have, you know, Ali with Will Smith, and you have a whole bunch of other stuff. There's that one really great one with Tom Hardy, where he's brothers with this guy and they go in sort of the octagon, almost like an MMA style fighting movie, which is so amazing. That's a really, really great film as well. There's a lot of really good ones, and then there's a lot of really knockoffs and ripoffs and movies that are trying to ape off of the success of other films. And yeah, those are real turkeys, guys. But I gotta admit, there does come across a certain movie that does end up being better than the rest. I mean, not gonna lie, like I said, I thought Born a Champion was gonna be really terrible, and it ended up actually being quite the surprise. So maybe American Fighter might be. Maybe? Truth be told, the odds are not really good for it, but I've been surprised before. An American Fighter might just surprise me. Sean Patrick Flannery and Tommy Flanagan together in a movie. Talk about side actor heaven. Holy shit, guys. No, I'm not talking about Cosmic Sid. I'm talking about Explorers. Holy shit. The Blu-ray collector's edition Shout Select release for $22.99. Holy shit, I was not expecting to see this here, man, this week. Oh my god, look at that. Holy shit. Oh, this is so amazing. Wow. Explorers. This is pretty damn cool, dude. I love Explorers. Explorers was back in the VHS days. I saw this movie. My mother and father taped this movie on VHS, man. I saw it so many goddamn times. This is a really, really great space exploration movie, adventure, kids adventure film. So fantastic, man. Oh my god. I remember watching this movie and thinking to myself, oh, maybe I could make something that could go into outer space with like a trash can and like weird spare parts from like garages, and my mother totally blew that up. I couldn't make a spaceship. I was so pissed. My mother had to ruin my dreams. Oh god. Oh man, you don't need a driver's license to reach the stars. That's damn right, man. This was just a really great, creative, imaginative movie that I just loved watching as a kid. It just was so fun to watch, and the characters were quirky and cool, and you wanted them to be your friends, and the weird looking aliens that ended up being sort of goofy and having a fun time, and you just wanted to hang out with them. It just felt like a really great, fun hangout movie that I just loved as a kid. I so did, man. And think about the people that were young at this point. I mean, River Phoenix was in here, Ethan Hawke as well, really, really young. But this was one of those movies that really cemented them, at least for me, as like, oh, dude, I love these kids. Like, that really did. I mean, it's movies like this, or Goonies, or E.T., or a lot of those other movies where you just wanted to hang out with those kids. It felt like, oh, cool, if I could only hang out with them, if I could only be in the spaceship with them and go explore outer space. Like, that was the coolest shit, guys. And directed by Joe Dante, who did Gremlins and a whole bunch of other movies, Piranha, and you name it, man. He is such a really great director. The Howling as well, just a really great imagination that he has. And just to take that and to make it into a really fun fantasy adventure movie for kids, it was the best. It was perfect, man. It absolutely was. And for the longest time, I felt that this thing would never get any sort of really great legit release, right? Because we've had Blu-ray for such a long time, and now 4K, and I'm thinking to myself, like, when are we ever going to get Explorers on a really great edition, right? I mean, something that you're like, oh my god, this is really cool, like Explorers. And every year, no Explorers, and I kept thinking to myself, oh god, it's never going to happen. My hopes and dreams are completely dashed. I was hoping for it, and I thought it would never come until Shout Select released it, and I'm not going to lie, when they announced it, I was over the moon. No pun intended. I was really, really, really just so happy about this, man, because this movie, I haven't watched this movie in decades. It's been a long time, man, since the VHS era, and I have to revisit this movie, man. I can only imagine that this has to be fun. I mean, yeah, I'm an adult, and yeah, I'm a little jaded in my life, but there's certain movies, right? Even if you're an adult, there's certain movies where, even though you're like old and jaded now, that sort of bring back that nostalgia of being a kid. And Explorers, I think, is one of those movies that definitely does it. I truly, truly believe that, man. And I think Explorers is one of those that is really going to trigger my, like, childhood love. God, look at that. The home video and theatrical cuts of the film. Oh, that's kind of interesting, because I watched home video, but I don't know if I watched the theatrical or the home video version. I don't know. That's kind of actually fascinating to me. I might have to dive into that. I don't know which version I actually ever saw. I wonder what the differences are. I got to check that out. Of that, they have, a new interview with the director and Ethan Hawke, and many of them new deleted scenes and new interviews with the editor, cinematographer, trailer. Nice special features, actually, man. They really went out with this, and the slip, sweet. So very, very nice. And I gotta say something, guys. Truth be told, I want to say how much I really miss River Phoenix, man. I fucking miss River Phoenix. You know, he played, you know, the young Indiana Jones in that third movie. Of course, Stand By Me and this film and many others. He was such a phenomenal actor, man. And he was taken from us way too fucking soon, man. He really was. And I look at movies like this and many others, and I say to myself, you know what? He may be gone too soon, but we're going to always remember movies like Explorers and Stand By Me, because they're just fucking classics. And his legacy is going to live on for many, many decades to come because of these movies. And so, he may be gone, but never forgotten, man. Never, never, never forgotten, man. God, such a really amazing movie, man. I'm so happy to see this. $22.99 for Shout Select Collector's Edition Love. That can't be beat. And you know we had to have at least found the 15th and final season of Supernatural. Blu-ray digital for $39.99. Very nice, man. Now, I gotta give a lot of love to Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, man, because they've been here since the very beginning, and they've stuck this thing throughout the entire 15 seasons, man. It's kind of interesting because Jared Padalecki, well, actually both of them, I should say, him and Jensen, they've always tried their hand to try to sort of, I don't want to say get out of Supernatural exactly, because I think that's where their niche was, and hey, it's a great steady job and they love doing it, but they've always tried to go for superstardom, right? They've always tried to do it. Like Jared did, I know he was in House of Wax, and he was also in Friday the 13th. Yes, the Friday the 13th remake. He played one of the main leads. He was good in it, but I don't think he was, like, so standout great that, like, it catapulted his career or anything. I mean, he was okay. I mean, Jensen Ackles did a few interesting things. He did My Bloody Valentine 3D, which actually, by the way, love My Bloody Valentine 3D. That's great. But again, it didn't really catapult him into superstar stardom where he was getting all these crazy amount of film roles. I mean, neither of them really made a niche in the movies exactly. They did a little bit here, you know. I believe like one of them was in like Cry Wolf or something, and they've done a lot of little horror stuff here and little TV appearances there. But really, honestly, as they go forward in their careers, I mean, Jensen Ackles is doing, I know, like the third season of The Boys. I believe he's doing that. I don't know where Jared Padalecki is going with in his career, but I wish those guys well in their careers. I think they're decent actors. I don't think they're A-listers by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they're good. And I think when all is said and done in their careers, right, years from now, they're going to be known for Supernatural. That's the honest truth. I mean, there's a lot of these young actors out there who want to do something else. They want to break out and make it big, and they look at a TV show role or something that they've done for a long time, and they kind of feel like they're strapped down, right? That they feel that they can do better and they can be more, and they can be this Hollywood superstar. And at the end of the day, that's just not the truth. Honestly, it really isn't. And sometimes a lot of these young actors, when they get older, they look back at a lot of the roles that they've done, and they eventually go to the conventions and they see the fans, and what are they signing? They're signing a lot of the older stuff. And I have a feeling that these actors years from now, 10, 20, 30 years from now, they're going to be at conventions signing stuff for Supernatural, because that's what they're going to be known for. And I think in some way they've embraced it, and in other ways I think they're still trying to prove themselves, but there's certain actors that are always going to be known for certain things. William Shatner is always going to be known for being Kirk. That's who he's always going to be known for. You have somebody like a Mark Hamill who's always going to be known for Luke. That's what he's always going to be known for. It's just, that's what it is. There's certain roles that stick with you, good, bad, ugly. I mean, you look at somebody like even Anthony Hopkins will always be known as Hannibal. That's it. There's really nothing else. Bruce Willis will always be known as Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Like, Die Hard. That is it. That's what they're going to be known for. And that's not a bad thing, guys. You just have to embrace it. That's the thing about it. Some actors are able to embrace their fate and others aren't. I'm curious to see where they go in their careers, but I think when all is said and done, it's Supernatural that's going to be their crown jewel of their careers. I truly believe that, guys. And I think that's one of the reasons why they stuck on as long as they did, man. I think that there's not many fantasy shows that really go the distance anymore. I mean, there's a lot of ones that fizzle out. You look at something like The Walking Dead. That fizzled out, man. I mean, yes, it got better after a while, but it did fizzle out. I mean, you look at things like, Arrow or The Flash and a lot of that stuff, and yeah, it's kind of fizzled out. And I'm not saying that this didn't fizzle out, but it always came back. Always righted the wrongs, right? If they screwed up, they came back and they fixed it, right? Because they did it for the fans. And at a certain point, when you're on this long for 15 seasons, it's not about the money anymore. It's about the fans. You do it for the fans. And the fans have stuck by them for years. And from what I heard, it stuck the landing. And as long as they're happy that it stuck the landing, that's great. Look, let's be real. Not many shows stick the landing, okay? I mean, Game of Thrones, let's be real, didn't stick the landing. Some people say Lost didn't stick the landing. I happen to disagree with that. I think Lost did stick the landing. But there's a lot of shows that don't really end up paying off and fizzle out. Dark Angel, Stargate SG-1, I could go on and on, but for a show like this to pull this off, that's a huge, huge accomplishment, and that can't be overlooked, man. So I think these actors know the Supernatural is their crown jewel. I think these creators know Supernatural is their crown jewel, and I think the fans will always be there to embrace them regardless, and I think that's the really most important thing, because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, when the money is gone, when the hot chicks have left you, when you're not getting the film roles anymore, who's there to be by your side? It's the fans. And God bless their hearts that the fans have stuck with this, and I'm glad that it paid off for them. I really, really am, man. Really, really glad it did. A lot of great featurettes, gag reel, unaired scenes, not bad, man. Like I said, I have never dived into any Supernatural love, but maybe I should. Maybe it's time. Now that the series is over, maybe I should. Is it worth checking out the adventures of the Winchester boys? Let me know, guys. God, I would have 15 fucking seasons to go through. That's wild, but it might just be worth it. Not half bad, man. They've got that. And also, I showed you a week or so back, they had this 4K Ultra HD Steelbook of A Quiet Place, and somebody said that this is a new release, which actually is kind of cool, man. I actually have the old Blu-ray Steelbook edition that it looks just like this, but if you don't have this, that's cool, man. And for the 4K, that's not half bad, dude. That's pretty sweet, man. I would definitely check this out, man. And with the new movie right around the corner, not a bad time to give it a look, man. Not bad at all. And not bad this week, man. Yes, some empty shelving, to be sure, but within the empty shelves, a lot of gold. Not half bad, guys. All right, let's head out. Ain't half bad here at the Beast this week, guys. Truth be told, not bad at all. Yes, it's not the most plentiful release week here at Best Buy, but not so bad either. Not really, man. I mean, yes, we didn't see all of the Steelbook love. However, if you go to Target, you might just press your luck. That's for damn sure, man. But they had a lot of new releases. They had a lot of 4K upgrade love. Some titles we hadn't seen before, and even an exclusive for Chaos Walking. Out of all the movies that deserve exclusives, Chaos Walking gets it. Sure. Whatever. Hey, Hey, at least it was a steelbook. It was odd, man. So, not half bad, all things considered, this week, guys, to be sure, man. So, not every week is going to be crazy plentiful. Some weeks are going to be a little less than others. And some weeks we're not going to see literally anything. Hello, Walmart. And other weeks see crazy surprises. And other weeks you get a nice little balance. And I think Best Buy was definitely it, man. And not half bad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All the physical media love. Let's head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And boy, oh boy, was this a crazy whirlwind of a week, dare I say, man. There were moments where it was really, really plentiful. And there were other moments where you were hearing crickets. It's just the way the out and abouts go, guys. I mean, it's actually a pretty good size release week. I mean, on top of everything else this week, Paramount was also putting out a bunch of Blu-rays. The Last Castle, Night at the Roxbury, a ton of other stuff. I thought maybe I would see some of that stuff in the stores, but yeah, no such luck. At least not this week. Maybe next week, possibly. We were kind of lucky to see some stuff that I wasn't expecting, and I was thinking maybe more Paramount love. It would be nice to see them do that kind of stuff. We've seen it a little bit, but I'd like to see a little bit more. Maybe we'll get it eventually. Maybe. Let's hope, guys. But no, it was a pretty good size release week regardless, man. New releases, exclusives, 4K upgrades, indie titles. There was a lot out there in the marketplace. Hopefully you guys picked up something good. Now, before I end up getting to what I picked up this week, which was quite plentiful, you'll notice, guys, that I ended up actually wearing my mask this week. Now, here in New York State and pretty much around the entire country, the mask mandate has kind of went a little bit more less restrictive. You can go to places without wearing the mask if you're fully vaccinated, and you don't have to if you don't want to. Private businesses, can basically do what they want to do, but a lot of them are relaxing it. Walmart has relaxed it, Target has relaxed it, and so has Best Buy. Yet, I'm still wearing the mask. Why? Well, truth be told, guys, in all honesty with you, I have been flip-flopping on this for about a week or so. I didn't know whether to continue wearing the mask or not. I'm 100% fully vaccinated. My mother is, my girlfriend, her father, a lot of my friends are. We just are at this point. And at a certain point, I kind of want to take off the mask and just do my own thing. But at the same time, I still want to keep people safe and keep me safe. And so I'm kind of not sure. And so I decided, for my benefit, for your guys' benefit and peace of mind, I continued to wear the mask. And I also didn't really want any backlash from you guys as well. Truth be told, because when things were getting a little rough and bad early on in the pandemic, I wasn't really wearing my mask. And then once things got a little bit more intense, and of course the mandate happened, of course I put on my mask. Now that things are loosening up a bit, God, I've gotten so used to this thing. It's kind of weird to not have it on. So I just did. What do you guys think? Do you think that I should keep on wearing it? Should I wear it for like a couple more weeks and then hey, it seems like everything is in the clear and take it off? Or should I continue to wear it constantly? I kind of want to know what you guys think about this one, because as I said, I was almost thinking of not wearing it this week. But I did because I know a lot of you guys care about my well-being and my safety, and at the same time, I know that we're not going to wear these forever. I know that there's going to be a certain point where this is just going to stop. And so where's the sort of dividing line, right? Dividing line between that sweet spot of just enough and not enough. Like where is that sweet spot exactly? And I don't know with the mask whether it is or not. Like I said, I was gonna make this the last week that I do it because I figured it's the last, obviously the week of May here, and I figured like, okay, maybe I don't have to really wear this. But again, I want to be safe. I want peace of mind. I want you guys to know that I'm okay. So it's become a little bit of an issue, and I know it has with the masks. And I've been doing my due diligence to stay safe. But I'm fully vaccinated, and if they want me to get the another dose, a booster shot, I'll do it. But again, at a certain point, the masks do have to come off at some point. We can't wear the mask forever. So, what's your guys' opinion on it? I know it's a dividing thing. People get really heated about it. I get it, but I really want to know what your guys' feedback on this is, honestly. I mean, I don't mind wearing it. I'll do the out and abouts with it, but at a certain point, you guys do realize I have to take it off at some point. So I'm kind of curious as to where you guys are on that dividing line. Definitely let me know. And on to the pickup love, and oh baby, the pickup love this week, man. My game was strong. Indeed it was, man. Now, two things before I get into pickups. One, I did not get that Psycho Steelbook from Target. Oh, man, was I very, very close to getting it. I really wanted that Steelbook, and I held off. And the reason why I held off on the Steelbook, guys, is because there's some really big sales that are going on this upcoming weekend, and I kind of want to hold back on buying too much stuff and save a little bit of money for those sales. So I decided if it's there next week, I might pick it up, but I wanted to hold back a little bit. I already have like 2 or 3 releases of Psycho anyways. I think that one can take a hold at least for the time being. So I held back on that, and I also did not pick up the collector's edition release of Explorers. I know you guys are like, wait a minute, you left Explorers behind? But there's a reason, because I actually already have it pre-ordered from Diabolic DVD. And I actually bought it along with a couple of exclusive and very scarce titles. And so I didn't want to contact Diabolic and be like, hey, take that off of the order and readjust the shipping and readjust the whole amount of money and everything. And I used a gift card, and I didn't want all that hassle. I really didn't want to. So I just figured I'll hold off. I know it's coming in the mail. I'll wait a little bit longer for it. I could have gotten it, but I trust in Diabolic DVD, so the package is coming to me soon, okay? So I did hold off on it. If I didn't have it ordered, trust me, I would have picked it up, but I do have it ordered already. So it's not, I left it, but it is coming to me eventually, so I will have some Explorers love soon. Trust me, guys. So with that being said, the pickups this week, very, very strong. So the first title that I got was actually from Amazon. And this is one that when I picked up the Blu-ray of Punchline, after a little bit of time, Amazon gives you these recommendations, right? They give you these little recommends of like, hey, if you bought this movie, you might like this one. And they showed me this title, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this is on Blu-ray. I didn't even know this thing was out on Blu-ray, and I had to pick it up. And that is none other than Nothing in common. Oh man, so good. So good. Tom Hanks and Jackie Gleason. Do you guys remember this movie? You probably don't, because as Tom Hanks lovers out there, this movie barely gets any kind of notice, any kind of love whatsoever. It's really a very underappreciated, underrated Tom Hanks film. It really honestly is. Basically, Tom Hanks plays Jackie Gleason's son, and Jackie Gleason basically had a falling out with Tom Hanks' mother, and it's just Tom Hanks trying to deal with the complications of his parents and the past, and it's sort of this drama comedy, which is really, really good, man. And I did not know that this was ever on Blu-ray. I really didn't, and it came from Image Entertainment and TriStar, and I'm like, wow. How did I not know this is here? I used to watch this back in the VHS days. My mother, again, when I showed her this title that I got it, she was like, "Oh my God, where did you get this?" She was blown away. She hadn't seen this in a long time, man, and neither have I. But when it got recommended to me, I had to pick it up, man. So I'm so glad, man. Some very underrated Tom Hanks goodness going in the collection. Not half bad, man. Then the next pickup that I got from Orbit DVD, and I'm so glad that I got this. I talk about this title sometimes every now and again, and I'm surprised I'm only getting it now in the collection, and that is The Guardian. Oh man, tonight, while the world is asleep, ancient evil is about to unwake. Oh, so good, man. God, another one of those Scream Factory titles, man. God, I really do like this movie, and it has been ages since I have seen it. But every now and again, I do talk about the movie and how it's a really great, cool little William Friedkin film that not many people really appreciate or know of as they should. It's a really great one, and another one of those gap releases, because it's one that sort of kept on passing me by, and there was other things to get, and I just, well, I'll get The Guardian eventually, and I waited and waited. Wait no longer. I finally got it for the collection, man. The Guardian, so nice to finally get more Scream Factory love, and not half bad, man. Then the next title I picked up was actually a pickup from Facebook Marketplace. This person had a brand new copy of this title, and I couldn't believe it. It's out of print. They wanted like 20-ish dollars for it or something, and I was like, oh my God, I have to pick this up, man. I've been wanting this for a while, and to get it brand new for a very decent price, I'll take it, man. And that is The Concrete Jungle from Code Red, man. This one is one of those really sleazy women in prison flicks, man. And if you guys have kept up with the pickup videos for a while, you know that I've really gotten into women in prison flicks. I don't know, man. It's a genre that I've started to really dive into. I really have, man. I've done like a deep dive on that. And I remember The Concrete Jungle. I remember it being announced and it coming out. And I'm like, oh, that looks really interesting. I wonder, I might get this. And again, it's one of those gap releases where I thought I was going to get it. And then I was like, oh, well, I need to pick up that and that title and that one over there. And this movie just completely was passing me by until I realized, holy shit, this thing is going out of print. Diabolic DVD doesn't have any. Orbit DVD doesn't have any. And I'm like, I'm completely like befuddled on how I'm going to get a copy of this without paying insane prices on eBay. And on Facebook Marketplace, guy gave a really great deal, and I took it hook, line, and sinker, man. I'm starting to really love my women in prison flicks. I think they're just fun. They're sleazy. You have badass babes in them. And there's something about it that I eternally love. I just really do, man. And add another one to the collection and add another out of print title, Love, in the collection as well. Not half bad. Behind these bars, everyone belongs to someone. And I love watching it. Yeah. Oh, baby. Concrete Jungle. Then the next title that I picked up, guys, is actually this one. I was so shocked by, and I am so glad that I got it for a great price, and that is none other than The Disco Godfather. Yes, look at this, man. Now, Vinegar Syndrome is having a sale very, very soon. Disco Godfather was on my list of movies that I was going to pick up. I didn't get this from Vinegar Syndrome, guys. I got this from Amazon, and I was on Facebook at the right time and the right place because I'm part of a lot of these movie groups. And one of the movie groups said, "Oh my God, Amazon is selling brand new copies of Disco Godfather for $6 and change." And I was like, holy shit, $6 and change. And I was like fast on going on Amazon and checking this out. With shipping and everything, it came to about 11-ish dollars. But come on, a brand new factory sealed Disco Godfather that I didn't have to get from Vinegar Syndrome, straight from Amazon, came in perfect condition for like $11 and change. That is crazy. That is wild. And hey, man, I'll take it. I love a good deal. I mean, don't we all love a good deal? I mean, to be honest with you. So I had to get this one in a big bad way, man. And I've been wanting more Rudy Ray Moore titles. I have Dolomite and I have a couple other ones. And I want a Disco Godfather. And trust me, there is more Rudy Ray Moore to get, especially when it comes to Vinegar Syndrome. So trust me, I'm going to keep a lookout for more Rudy Ray Moore love. And the next title that I got, guys, wow, this one is one weird ass movie, but I really wanted it, and that is none other than Rockula. Oh my god, wow. Okay, interestingly enough, I don't know if I was ever really interested in this title until I was really looking into it more. Somebody was selling this on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, Rockula. And I was looking into it, and I watched the trailer to this, and I'm like, this looks like something I really would like. Why have I not pulled the trigger yet on Rockula? Like, why? It's so great. He's a vampire who hasn't scored in 400 years. Tonight's the night he keeps a date with fate. Oh my god. This thing looks all kinds of bananas. I gotta tell you, man. It looks weird, bizarre, but so 80s and so ridiculous cheese, man. I don't know, and this is another one of those sort of Scream Factory releases. Have another one of the Scream Factory in the collection. Why not, man? I don't know what I'm in store. I've never actually seen Rockula. So this is a complete blind buy for me. But I sort of like the tongue-in-cheek quality of it, sort of the rock and roll, have a good time, party hard, vampires goodness in it. Huh? This is a weird fucker, man. This is odd, man. But I gotta tell you, I'm just really intrigued by it, and I got it for a great price. I didn't get it on Facebook Marketplace. I actually got it through Orbit DVD, but it was a great price, lower than what the guy was asking on Facebook Marketplace. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull the trigger. I don't know what I'm in for, but hey, it's vampire rock and roll weirdness. How can I not like it? Rockula. Then I also picked up, actually from Orbit DVD, I ended up picking up the 88 films version of H.P. Lovecraft's Lurking Fear. Oh, I love that. A battle against graveyard ghouls and the undead. But then again, I thought the ghouls were undead. They have to battle the ghouls that are undead and the undead on top of that. Wow, they're really fucked. Oh, man. I have sort of heard about Lurking Fear over the years, and I never really got a chance to watch it before. I mean, I've watched From Beyond, and I've watched Reanimator and Dagon and a bunch of these other H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, but not really Lurking Fear. But when I was looking into this, I was like, okay, it's got Jeffrey Combs in here, and it's got some really cool, interesting actors, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of interesting, and the weird creature design is kind of cool here, and I'm liking it. It looks like one of those really great sort of almost like Charles Band type of weirdness that they just love to do, man. And honestly, this is a really interesting period because they were just exploiting Lovecraft like crazy, man. I mean, once Reanimator was a success, it was just open the floodgates for everything. From Beyond and Dagon and Lurking Fear and so many other titles that they were doing, man. They were just, it was like one thing after another where you were getting all these just insane adaptations of H.P. Lovecraft, man. And most of them were coming from Full Moon Pictures. And I don't know, this one looks kind of cool with the creepy castle and the undead ghouls. Like, it kind of looks cool. I am a fan of those 80s H.P. Lovecraft movies, so I am kind of looking forward to this one. It's been one on my radar for a little bit now, but I got it for a great price on Orbit, so I figured why not give it a go, man. More H.P. Lovecraft goodness in the collection. I'll take it. Not bad, man. Then on eBay, I picked this title up, and this is one that I've actually been looking for on and off for a while now. And I got it for a really great price, and I had to pull the trigger. And that is none other than Remo, the Adventure Begins. Oh my god. Do you guys realize how much I love Remo motherfucking Williams? Holy shit, man. I used to watch this, man, back in the day, VHS. I love this movie so much, man. It was just a really great sort of martial arts shoot 'em up action flick that I really did love, man. And it came a time in my life when I was watching movies like this and Buckaroo Banzai and all those sort of weird sort of action movies. And it just sort of got me into the genre of like weird cinema. And I love the quirky characters here. I love sort of the Chinese master where he's sort of like almost like deadpan sense of humor and how he's sort of really sort of getting on Remo's nerves and everything. But every lesson he has sort of, it has a purpose to it. But I sort of like it a lot, man. And I like the action sequences here. It's badass. It really is. For the time it was made, it was great. And I always wanted them to make more Remo movies. I did. And when this one sort of bombed at the box office and everything, obviously this was never going to get another sequel, but god damn it, man. One of these movies where, you see so many movies out there, terrible flicks get sequels, and Remo is left holding the bag, man. God damn it. If only we were to get another Remo movie, man. Damn it. Ah, my life would be even more complete. No. At least I finally have Remo in the collection, man. And mind you, I knew that Remo had gotten released here in the States I believe on another edition. I believe from Twilight Time it ended up getting released, if I'm not mistaken. And I was actually at one point going to pick that up until I realized, wait a second, Arrow actually has an edition of this. And I was trying to find it on and off until I realized, hold on a second, this is out of print. Like, the Arrow edition is completely out of print, and I'm thinking to myself, like, hold on a second, how am I actually going to get this thing? Because it goes for big money. Like, it really does. And good luck, man, because people are selling this out the nose. And one of the sellers, man, had it for a really great price, and actually when I bought it, the seller actually messaged me, said, by the way, do you realize this is a Region B title? That if you don't have a region free player, you can't play this. I just want to let you know that ahead of time if you want to back out of this. And I'm like, dude, I have a region free player. There's reasons why I have a region free player. It's movies like Remo from Arrow Video that make me want to have a goddamn region free player. So, yes, more Arrow Video love in the collection and Remo at that. How can I possibly resist? Oh, and you thought that was it, didn't you? Oh, no. No, that's not it, guys. Because I actually got more Scream Factory and Shout Factory love, baby. I actually did. I actually picked up 4 titles from actually the Shout Factory website. And the first title that I got is City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold. Oh, baby, from Shout Select, man. I had to pick this up. Now, I actually have City Slickers from Shout Select as well. And why not get Part 2? I actually really do like Part 2 quite a bit, man. I think it's a pretty good sequel. Not as good as the first City Slickers, to be fair, but I still think it's funny. I love Daniel Stern in here. I love the addition of Jon Lovitz. It's actually one of the only movies that I actually like Jon Lovitz in. So there is that. And also bringing back Jack Palance. I mean, how do you keep around Jack Palance, a character that died in the first City Slickers movie? How do you keep him around? Well, I'm not Curly. I'm Duke. Curly's twin brother. Of course, you make him the fucking twin brother, man. Of course, to bring back Jack Palance. You'd be crazy not to, man. Oh, Lord. I just love the fact that they're in search of this gold and how other people might be looking for the gold and just sort of the crazy, hilarious hijinks that they go through. I thought it was actually really fun, man. It really was. I mean, truth be told, you didn't really need a sequel to City Slickers. All things considered, you really didn't, because that first movie is really so perfect. But see, I'm not a huge fan of comedy sequels. Sometimes comedy sequels can be really, really great. Like something like, the sequel to Clerks, which is actually pretty decent. And then there's other comedy sequels where you're like, this is... Even though I like that movie, like something like Blues Brothers 2000, I understand it's not nearly as good as that first movie. I think City Slickers 2 is somewhere in between. A pretty good sequel, not needed, not as good as the first movie, but still very, very enjoyable, man. And I had to pick it up. When Shout Select ended up releasing it, I knew I wanted it. So, more Jack Palance and Billy Crystal team up love in the collection? How could I pass up? No way. Now, also from Scream Factory, I actually picked up a couple of double feature love. Some Roger Corman double feature love. Limited edition double feature Roger Corman love. And those are Crazy Mama, The Lady in Red, and Big Bad Mama, and Big Bad Mama 2. Oh, look at these, man. Look at these, baby. Not half bad, man. When they got announced from Scream Factory, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy these, man, because I've been buying all of the double features that they've been putting out from Roger Corman. I really have, man. I don't know why. I guess number one, because it's limited edition, but I don't really buy double features. I don't like a lot of these double features discs. It's hard to put in the collection, and what title do you end up using to put in the collection? Certain, it gets complicated, and it just kind of frustrates me at times. So I try to stay away from double features. But I've been picking up a lot of these because I've been looking into the trailers, I've been looking into the movies, and they just look fun. And truth be told, I like Roger Corman. I really do. I mean, I don't love everything Corman has done, but a lot of that old school stuff, like, Piranha or Piranha 2 or some of that really crazy, ridiculous, cheesy sci-fi stuff that he came out with like long time back. Humanoids from the Deep and so much other stuff. I mean, I like the cheesy, cheapo ridiculousness of his productions, but yet somehow he makes them incredibly enjoyable. And these ones seem like really interesting, sort of old school exploitation, which I'm actually really looking forward to, man. Haven't seen them, but I've seen the trailers and they look really, really cool. So, limited edition, I wanted to pick these up before they go out of print because when they go out of print, you're gonna have to buy them for a crazy amount on eBay, and I'm not willing to deal with those reseller fuckers. I'm not doing it, guys. I wanted them for myself. So more Roger Corman love in the collection. Double feature Roger Corman love, limited edition Roger Corman love. Why not? Oh, and I said 4, didn't I? Yes, I did. Actually, the 4th title I'm saving for the upcoming pickup love for May. And in fact, on top of that, there's a few other titles that are coming in the mail very soon for the May pickups as well. But you guys will not get to find out exactly what I picked up for some of those really interesting, mysterious titles, including that 4th mysterious title from Scream Factory. A very interesting Oliver Stone horror flick that actually looks quite intriguing. Not bad, man. But you guys, again, will not get to find out until my Blu-ray Pickles video, which will drop sometime down the line. It'll show all of the titles that I got for the month of May out of print, horror, retro, limited, collector's editions. You know how I do it. Some really very fascinating titles, and May, no exception, guys. And I just want to say a big old thank you to each and every one of you for supporting the channel, watching the videos, the live streams, all that jazz. You really have went out of your way to support us and support everything that I do, and I truly appreciate it. And we are slowly rolling stuff out more. Hopefully within this next weekend or the weekend after this, we'll be putting out more movie reviews. We're finally going to get the Zack Snyder Justice League review out for you guys. Hopefully the Mortal Kombat review, more Blu-ray pickup love. We're going to be planning different skits and other reviews of movies that are out there now. The guys and I are slowly getting out of our pandemic haze. We're kind of waking up, getting the dust off of us. We're starting to get back to work again. Oh, it's you've had some time off, man. It's been kind of easy. No movies to really, dive into in the theaters and everything, and we've kind of just been a little bit relaxful. Now we got to ramp up again. Oh boy. Gotta wipe those cobwebs off us. But we are slowly doing that, guys, and we are going to be getting some more content out to you guys soon. So we appreciate the patience and the love, and you will definitely be rewarded with some great video goodness. And before I let you guys go, I gotta talk about this one real quick. This is a very interesting one, guys. A digital media merger for a match made in digital media heaven. Let's dive in, shall we? Here we go on this one. So, AT&T, just 3 years after buying Time Warner for $81 billion, that's with a B, and renaming it Warner Media, plans to spin off the entertainment company and combine it with Discovery, the owner of popular unscripted US TV channels like Food Network and TLC. AT&T will receive $45 billion in the deal. Its shareholders will own 71% of the new company, while Discovery's investors will get 29%. Now, if approved by US regulators, this would instantly become one of the largest content providers in the world, and be in a position to take on Netflix, Disney, Amazon, and Apple for global streaming superiority. It'll marry Warner Media's strength in scripted content, led by awards darling HBO and the Warner Brothers Film Studio, with the unscripted reality TV empire Discovery, which is built through shows like Chopped, 90 Day Fiancé, Naked and Afraid, and many, many others. Warner Media and Discovery generated $41 billion in combined revenue last year, $16 billion more than Netflix. Together, they will spend about $20 billion on content this year, $3 billion more than Netflix's 2021 spending. Now, this are all the brands that would be a part of the proposed Warner Media Discovery Company, okay? HBO Max, HBO, Warner Brothers, DC Comics, Cinemax, Cartoon Network, CNN, TNT, TBS, True TV, Adult Swim, HLN, Turner Classic Movies, Turner Sports, Crunchyroll, the Discovery Channels, Food Network, HGTV, TLC, Animal Planet, Oprah Winfrey Network, Cooking Channel, Travel Channel, Investigation Discovery, Golf TV, and DIY Network, among many, many others. Let me be real on this, guys. Let me be very real here. We are living in the streaming wars. I've told you this God knows how many times. We are living in the streaming age. And if you thought that it had gotten cutthroat before, boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. And this is the honest truth. And we are just starting to see some of this stuff. I mean, think about it like this. I told you guys once before that there was a time long ago, go back 10 or more years ago, when Netflix was the king. Literally, the king. And they had all these movies and TV shows, these older properties, and that was a one-stop shop for any of your entertainment needs. And then slowly, what a lot of these companies started seeing is that, wait a minute, Netflix is making a lot of money off of our content. Why do we still give them that when we could have a share of that piece of the pie? And so suddenly the streaming wars became a thing. Amazon Prime and Disney Plus and CBS All Access, Paramount Plus. Universal's gonna get in the game, obviously with Peacock, and now of course Warner Media. It's getting really crazy, really, really crazy, guys. It's nuts, man. And now all of these companies are literally hoarding up content. They're literally like grabbing them and hoarding them up like crazy. Why? Because it's all about the Benjamins, baby. It all is. Because why give these movies and TV shows, these older content, to something like a Netflix or some of these other places when they could get the revenue? If you really want this content, you're going to subscribe to our stuff, right? Because we're the exclusive home of it. You're not going to find it anywhere else except with us. That's why you see a lot of original content from Netflix and some of these other ones, because they realize that they can't get that content anymore. So they need to go original in order to keep their platform alive, which means spending a lot of money and spending a lot of capital. And you hope that that spending capital will turn into more revenue for you. Hopefully. It all is a big old clusterfuck at the end of the day, guys. Now, what does that mean for you? That means that you literally have to subscribe to Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Peacock, HBO Max, and every single other streaming service to get all the content that you want. You gotta pay, baby. And this is where physical media comes into the mix. Now, I told you that physical media had a certain amount of importance last year, and whether or not that importance would carry over here into 2021 was anybody's guess. But in fact, it actually kind of has, because with all of these streaming services, right, and you have to subscribe to all of them, you're literally paying more than cable. Not only that, guys, but do you seriously think that all these streaming services, with all the content that they have, with all the new content that they're making, do you think that the price that you're paying today is going to be the same price within a year from now? I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you that it's not. There is no absolute way that will ever happen, man. And so, what do? Do you subscribe to all of these? Or do you do what a lot of us collectors do, like myself? You buy the movies that you want and you have them in your collection. That way, these companies can't rob you blind. Here's the deal, guys, and the truth of the matter, and you know this, so it's almost like, I'm saying it ad nauseum, but it really is true. With these companies, you're paying a monthly fee, and sometimes even with a Disney Plus, you're paying an extra added fee if you want to watch an exclusive movie, right? Because that's what Disney Plus does. They want your money. The Mouse House is not just good enough to just take a little bit of your money. No, they want all of it. And so the difference is that when you buy a movie, you pay a one-time fee, and then you have that movie no matter what. Rain, sunshine, hot, cold, it doesn't matter. You have that movie. It's yours. You don't have to worry about paying a fee every single month to want to watch the same movie over and over again when you can just do it in the collection. And I think companies are literally banking on the fact that you are going to be lazy. They are banking on the fact that you don't want to go out to a store or go to an online retailer and buy the movie on physical media. Why would you want to do that? I mean, that's not really convenient. You have to walk and grab the title and then walk to the TV and put the disc in the player. And, oh, isn't that just a hassle, guys? I mean, when you could just literally by a click and have it all at your fingertips. I mean, wouldn't that be so much better? Come on, guys. You know better than that. However, a lot of the population out there doesn't realize what you and I realize. They don't. Because they've bought into this. Now, I'm not saying that streaming is absolutely terrible and bad, because there's a lot of perks to it that I really do enjoy. A lot of exclusive content that I can't get on physical media right now that I do enjoy. But for the most part, if I want something that's on that streaming service, an older content movie, I'm going to go out and get it. I'm not going to pay an extra fee to watch something that I can watch at home with my collection. I'm just not going to do it, guys. And I just wish the majority of the population would understand that. Because if they just did, physical media would rise to the heights that it used to long time ago. Unfortunately, companies are trying to downsize physical media and upsize digital and these streaming services. And before you know it, physical is going to be a dead thing because these companies want you to believe that it's not as good and that digital is better. And, if we continue to buy into the big lie, then before you know it, there will be no physical media around anymore. And that's a real damn shame. It really honestly is, man. Look, everyone's hoarding up content, everybody's wanting to make more money, and I get it. We're a capitalist society, I understand it, but at a certain point, you know, you can either follow blindly or you can do something about it and not have to deal with all the bullshit that goes on. And I'm only willing to pay so much for content. And after that, I'm sticking with my movies, baby. I don't know about you, but that's where I'm definitely going. Definitely let me know what you think about that, guys. Very fascinating stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos I do every single week. The movie reviews with my friends. Blu-ray hunting like Dollar Tree hunts, Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, and much more. If you are a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and be a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my really great subscribers out there. You are absolutely amazing. The great feedback, watching all of the videos, the great comments, and just sending the love my way. And I really hope I send the love your way as well. Thank you thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if you want to send the channel any movie related goodness, care packages, posters, physical media, you name it, the P.O. Box for the Film Fan 108 mailing address goodness is down below in the description, so definitely send us something good. I always look forward to all the great, wonderful movie surprises you guys give us, and I will see you guys next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about for you. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.